was on our first review, so we are expecting some cash.
So we're happy
Hopefully.
about that.
What can we do? What can we do about it? And hopefully the Black Stars will make us smile tonight.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so
That
let's
would be
see.
That would be nice.
Let's see.
Yeah, the Black Stars are all over my say it right today.
Charlie. Yeah.
They'd better do. They'd better do the do.
Hmm.
And keep us in that tournament, because we need something to look forward to, Yeah. So, okay. 600 million,
600 million. I saw the look on your face when I said, well, it's some good news, because
look, our reality is that we are in an IMF program.
Mm-hmm.
That's our reality. And it's a pity that such amounts make such a massive difference, to our entire economy and our whole balance sheet. It's a pity that we've come to the point where $600 million.
And the question is, for how long are we going to be going back and begging for money and not fixing the economy? I know you're going to play a documentary about General Ichempong. You remember Operation Feed Yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All of these things were designed to prevent us depending on institutions like the IMF.
But that failed. It didn't work during his time.
True.
True.
And if you want to know why, some clues are in today's documentary.
And there was a lot of mismanagement, corruption, and that was when we went for our second IMF program. Really, so.
Yeah, bro. We have come.
It keeps going on.
We have come far without going anywhere. It's sad.
Anyway.
Yeah, all right. So, catch that documentary. It was pretty good. Yeah. Okay, shall we get to it? First, gratitudinal.
Bauxite edition.
Gratitudinal bauxite edition. We have thanks to give, and we give them to Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. And our thanks go to them for the 6 a.m. news. Now, of course, Kafu Bauxite and the team bring you today's Joy Business Report.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, International Monetary Fund describes Ghana's economy as showing signs of recovery, adding the country's program performance is strong. Also, Ghana hoping to secure a 7-year moratorium on Eurobond interest payments as it moves to restructure the debt instruments. Meanwhile, rating agency Fitch pushes forward timeline for Ghana to emerge from default on its foreign currency debt to mid-year, following successful debt restructuring agreement with bilateral creditors. And interest rates take a nosedive for the third consecutive week as T-bills are oversubscribed by 72%. Details coming up. Great to be with you this morning. Hello to our friends listening on KTU Radio in Koforidua. My name is Darryl Kwao. The International Monetary Fund has described Ghana's economy as showing signs of recovery. This was after the country completed its first review under the fund program, resulting in some $600 million in disbursement. George Affe has more.
The IMF says reforms efforts are bearing fruit. Growth in 2023 has proven to be resilient. Inflation has declined, and the fiscal and external positions have improved. The IMF in their statement also said that Ghana's performance under the program has been very strong, meeting all the quantitative performance criteria, targets, and structural reforms. Tefaro Day is the mission chief for Ghana and has been speaking from Washington, D.C., USA.
Inflation is going down very rapidly. External and the fiscal position are turning around. And the other part of the assessment is that economic activity is performing better than what we had in mind. And this is why we are revising our growth projections up in the context in this review.
The IMF was, however, quick to add that there is a need for government to press ahead with reforms aimed at improving tax administration, strengthening expenditure controls, and enhance fiscal rules to ensure lasting adjustment Since Ghana signed the IMF program in May last year, it has now received $1.2 billion from the fund. If this assessment is anything to go by, then we should expect some interesting response from the country's donors and investors.
George, I feel with that report. Well, meanwhile, speaking at a joint press conference of the IMF, Finance Ministry, and the Bank of Ghana, Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Ernest Addison, reacted to concerns about further hikes in the policy rate to contain inflation.
At the last MPC press conference, we had said that the rate will be tighter for longer to ensure that, inflation expectations are anchored towards a single-digit objective. But that doesn't mean that between getting to the single digits, you would not see, a downward trend in the policy rate.
That was Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison. In a related development, Ghana is hoping to secure a 7-year moratorium on Eurobond interest payments as it moves to restructure the debt instruments. It is also pushing for up to 40% interest rate cut. Government will open negotiations with Eurobond holders later today in London to negotiate the restructuring of the papers. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, hopes these commercial creditors will accept the government's offer.
I'm expecting that we will all negotiate in good faith. I'm looking at the country coming back quicker than later. We have had discussions with Eurobond investors, some of the larger creditors, and there's goodwill. I had a very optimistic view to conclude all of these negotiations by end of 2023, which did not happen. So when I look at current situation between concluding the MOU, OCC, and then the process with the Eurobond, is I give myself latest end of March a goal that we should shoot for to put an end to all of the restructuring.
You heard the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, rating agency Fitch has pushed for the timeline for Ghana to emerge from default on its foreign currency debt to mid-year instead of the end of the year. This follows a successful debt restructuring agreement with bilateral creditors last Friday. In its latest rating outlook for sovereigns and banks in Africa, the UK-based firm said the country's domestic debt exchange program was successfully done, clearing most default risks. Toby Illes is head of Middle East and Africa Sovereign Ratings.
Regarding Ghana, Ghana requested a common framework treatment a little more than a year ago, December 2022. They have reached an agreement with the Official Credit Committee last Friday. So the next steps are this agreement needs to be translated into an MOU, and then they need to seek an agreement with private creditors on comparable terms. Given that discussions with private creditors have been handled in parallel with the discussions with official creditors, we also assume that Ghana potentially would move out of default on the foreign.
Head of Middle East and Africa Sovereign Ratings at Fitch, Toby Illes there. Interest rates took a nosedive for the third consecutive week running the day. The day the International Monetary Fund approved the first review of Ghana's program. According to auction results by the Bank of Ghana, demand for the Treasury bills continued to surge. Here's more in this report.
Investor confidence is soaring following the expected release of the $600 million bailout package to Ghana this week by the IMF. According to the auction results, the yield on the 91-day T-bill went down by 15 basis points to 28.88%. That of the 182-day bill also fell to 31.39% from the previous 31.51%. The rate on the 364-day bill also eased by 9 basis points to 31.99%. Meanwhile, the T-bills auction was oversubscribed by 72.3% to 5.270 billion cedis. About 2.632 billion cedis of the bids were tendered for the 91-day bill. All of the bids were accepted accordingly. For the 182-day T-bills, 1.324 billion cedis of the bids were tendered. The uptake was 1.324 billion cedis. The 364-day bill also received bids worth 1.312 billion cedis. All the bids were accepted.
That was a business desk report. Moving on, economist Professor Lord Mensah has cautioned the government against the increase in taxes, warning it could impact inflation. Inflation for December 2023 fell sharply to 23.2%, the lowest in the last 16 months. Our government expects to end 2024 with a rate of 15%. Professor Mensah warns the gains from inflation could be eroded by the tax increases
if they do not do their calculations very well. And those who are supposed to bear the brunt, will be consumers. And in the end, prices will tend to go up again. And so all the gains that we've made as a result of inflation coming down will definitely be neutralized. So the taxes obviously will turn up to have effect on prices. But then we hope that the percentages that has been increased will not have much effect. Whatever the case may be, the pass-through effect of taxes is increase in prices, which will build up into inflation.
You had Professor Lord Mensah, an economist there. Now, tax analyst Francis Timobo is hopeful the consumption taxes implemented from the 1st of January this year may achieve their target. This follows concerns by businesses that the number of taxes announced by government could stifle growth of private sector businesses. Even though Mr. Boy is of the view that the implementation could have started in February, he's hopeful that VAT components will achieve their targets.
Listen, the taxes, as we are seeing them, they are mostly in the form of indirect taxes, and it is consumers who bear it. So it's you and I. They will pass it on to us. So being indirect tax, I see that the avoidance is quite difficult unless you don't consume. Take, for example, the emission tax. Unless you don't have a car. If you have a car and you are driving, there's nothing you can do. So on that lens, we can say that it's likely that we may achieve the revenue target.
Tax analyst Francis Timobo there. Now, Trade and Industry Minister Kutu Acheampong has warned foreign cement manufacturers to desist from producing substandard products for the construction sector here in Ghana. He's been talking about the rate at which such activities are affecting the industry. Speaking at a finance ministry engagement with the Chinese business community on mutual prosperity partnership, Mr. Acheampong urged the manufacturers to comply with the standard rules in Ghana.
I'm happy, Excellency, Ambassador, you are here. Once I'm at this point, I intend to make this point rather forcefully. It's unpleasant, it's unpalatable, but I intend to make it all the same. I implore you, I think they must try as much as possible to comply with the standards of the country.
Trade Minister Kutu Acheampong. Now, officials of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority are poised to strengthen their relationship with border communities as a catalyst to improve trade facilitation and also strengthen security. The move has become necessary as most of these communities are being identified as partners in the quest by government to increase trade with neighboring countries. Assistant Commissioner at Headquarters Sector Command, Eric Boni, disclosed this to Joy Business after embarking on a health walk to kickstart this year's International Customs Celebration Week, which begins today.
One thing we must not also forget is building relationship and fostering our relationship with border communities. Previously, we saw the border communities as smugglers, but now they are our partners in trade and trade facilitation. So they also give us information to curb smuggling and also deal with certain security situations. So this year, we have invited them to be part of our celebration.
Well, this year's International Customs Celebration Week is under the theme Engaging Traditional and New Partners with a Purpose. Now, let's turn to the stock market. Demand for GCB and Total Energy shares are expected to surge this week on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Let's now hear from Grace Munayon of Data Bank Research on how your stocks will fare this week.
Last week, trading activity ended positively with price gains in 5 equities. The gainers were Guinness Ghana Breweries, Unilever Ghana, Access Bank, New Gold and EcoBank Ghana, while Cowbank closed as the sole laggard. Consequently, the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index climbed 0.87% weekly to a year-to-date gain of 0.77%. Aggregate weekly turnover totaled 8 million Ghana cedis from the exchange of 4.9 million shares across 21 counters. MTN Ghana dominated activity, accounting for 74% of the recorded turnover and 85% of the total volumes traded. This week, we tipped Total Energies and GCB Bank to record gains due to strong demand for their shares. For Joy Business reports Grace Munanyun of Databank Research.
Thanks, Grace. Before we go, let's check the markets. On the currency market this morning, the dollar going for 12 cedis 48 pesos. That's on the retail market. The pound going for 15 cedis 55 pesos. The euro 13 cedis 48 pesos. On the commodity market, crude oil selling this morning at $78 a barrel. Gold open trading at $2,025 an ounce after going down by more than $4. Cocoa, however, went up by a significant $125 to open trading at $4,583 a ton. Just wondering how much bauxite is going for. Don't have that figure right now. But that's the Joy Business Report. Back to Kojo Yankson and the team with more of the Super Morning Show.
It's a fact. Yeah. So I think there was an intervention.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking for inspirational song.
Oh, Mbura is back with his
Mbura is back.
Controversial picks and
he's back. That's all I'll say. So are you ready?
Well, I'm ready.
Okay. Brace yourself. Okay. Yes. Here it is. Today, to inspire us, let us welcome Rick Ross.
Hey, is it Mbura's pick?
I'm coming.
Okay.
Rick Ross, Lil Wayne,
Hey,
Jay-Z, and John Legend on a track laced by DJ Khaled.
I see.
God did. It is, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
Mbura has, done well.
I'm sure you consulted somebody.
I suspect.
It wouldn't be Darrow because this one there is out of Darrow's league.
Oh, Mbura's initial choice.
Yes. I knew that will happen.
This was a correction of course.
Okay.
I only told him that one. I don't even hear what he says. Then he came with this.
So okay.
I have no role to play in this.
So this was his second choice.
Second choice.
Yes.
It undermines the entire plot this I've given the man.
Oh no.
This was his plan B.
Plan B,
yes,
is fantastic.
His plan A was disastrous.
So sometimes all you need is a bit of correction. You need to be told, show working or change position.
Like people are doing with the Blasters winning today, right? They are doing some calculations. Me, all that I know is that we are qualified.
I must wear my Black Stars jersey. I want to wear it.
Yes.
So
why didn't you wear it?
No. Now we don't wear it.
No, we don't wear before.
No,
we don't wear before.
No.
So Ghana must win.
We wait and see if we will wear after.
And I repeat,
and
Ghana must win.
Yes.
These days have changed mine.
After what South Africa did yesterday, I mean, you're fighting for the best third place, isn't it?
Yes. No, we could also be fighting for number 2 slot.
No, don't be too sure.
Do extremely well today.
No, listen. Whatever happens, look, don't be too sure. Our qualification is in our hands.
Yes.
If we win, whether we fight for third best or not, but don't be too sure about Egypt beating Cape Verde.
No, why?
What if Cape Verde beats Egypt?
No, why?
If we win.
Cape Verde is a better team than Egypt.
Yes,
Egypt is only Ghana that they saw,
It's only in Ghana. And every tournament, permutations.
But somebody has to do permutation anyway.
Now, Ben, when you were in school and they were teaching you sine and cosine, what else did you expect to use it for?
I was frustrated, angry at the last performance.
Yeah.
With those two players.
Oh
my God.
The two, the one who needed Saturn out, his brother.
We have only agreed that Ghana, the standard is if you give bad pass and it goes to go straight, you're out of the team. We agreed long time ago. We agreed long time ago.
Let's be fair to the young first man.
No.
You people are trying to invoke the Osei-Kufo protocol.
Yes. We can never let it slide.
So you're suggesting that today, Inaki Williams.
Oh no, out. No, please, we beg them.
Masa, we are coming home.
No, we are not reaching that level.
Don't be too sure.
What dear?
Don't be too sure.
Shall we get to our drive safe campaign?
That's what we are setting off, right? Is the Drive Safe campaign, which is brought to us by Johnny's and Multimedia Group, is supported proudly by Imperial General Assurance, Solid Protection.
Now,
so this is Drive Safe today.
Yes, today on Drive Safe, somebody sent me a voice note about a huge peril on one of our major roads here in the capital. Listen to this.
If you're from McCarthy Hill coming, when you get to the Mala Market proper, there's a big pavement meant for cars to park so that they will go to the market and do their shopping. Now traders have overtaken that pavement and they are selling on the pavement, which didn't used to be so. Why my concern is it's dangerous. Last week a car knocked down someone. They're virtually on the road, and you see that road is a highway. They are on the pavement and they are selling on the pavement. And that pavement, the way it is dangerous. Now they offload, when they come, they offload their wear on the road, right in the middle of the road, causing vehicular movement to be bad because it causes huge traffic and the lives of people are in danger. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Please use your medium to call on the authorities to come and correct this havoc.
Do you know the place she's describing?
Yeah.
I think I have an idea,
But what is wrong with us? I mean, at what point did some trader decide that, you know what, I'm going to set up on this road?
Kojo, if you allow people, right, whatever they want to do to get money, they will do it. It's the reason why we set rules, regulations. We put together local government systems at the very lowest level, so that somebody would every morning go into work, check this, and make sure that it doesn't happen. We encourage it, then become institutional. Next time, they would insist that they should create a space there for them, because it's become a formal market for them to engage on. We cannot continue that way. There is Mala market. There is a lot of market around that area, but they don't want to. Remember our pedestrian mall excuse some time ago?
Yeah.
It's because we legitimize illegality and tie it to votes. Then it becomes very difficult to deal with. Then the threats become, if you remove us, we will also vote against you.
Which district or municipal assembly does Malam fall under? Do we know yet?
It should be Ga East.
Ga East. Look, if you are listening to us and you work for the Ga East assembly, is it Ga East?
No, it's not.
We're double checking. Okay.
I'll check,
we're going to double check.
Because Ga East is
Abokobi there. Right,
so
right.
I
really want us to identify which one it falls under, so that we can quite clearly call out all of those salaried workers who are going to work today, who will sit at their desk today, be greeting people and be called good morning, sir, honorable and all of that, and then drive home in government cars without doing their jobs. I want us to call out those individuals that there is, this ridiculousness is unfolding right before your very eyes. What are you waiting for? Like a few more people need to die before you realize what your job is? I certainly hope not. Let's not let it get to that. Sometimes we allow for people to insult us. Let's not do that. I beg you. Shall we learn how to say it right?
And it's brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks, and Societe General Bank Ghana. The future is you.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
At 8 p.m. tonight, Ghana's fate in the Afcon tournament will be sealed one way or another. I just hope we are in the lead by the time the referee blows the final whistle. Now, beloved, I hope you heard me say whistle, not whistle, and certainly not whistle. It's whistle. W-H-I-S-T-L-E. Whistle. The T is silent and so is the H. The word actually comes from the Danish word whistler, which means whisper or hiss. It then became whistle in the 17th century when English sailors believed it was bad luck to whistle at a calm sea because it would immediately start a windstorm. That's where the expression whistle for the wind comes from. Now that means to call for trouble. There you go. That's how you say it right. And I certainly hope I'm not whistling for the wind when I predict a 2-1 victory for Ghana tonight. Kudu's Day, Kudu's Day.
Let's call it home.
All right, before we get into the news review brought to us by Syntex, Tanker, you're stronger, you're tough. My Way, a simple life insurance by My Life and MTN Momo. Dial star 165 on MTN to join My Way today. And Enterprise Insurance at 100. Yafinie promotion celebrating our legacy, securing your future. Before we get into all of that, a quick wrap of news file over the weekend. It was an interesting one. Let's hear some of what was shared.
We impose taxes, the real effect in scaling up our tax revenue to GDP ratio. Check the manufacturing sector. They pay so much and disruption to their production line just to fix a tax stamp or something. Okay, virtually some level of disruption to planning, production process. Look, let me tell you something. My considered view is that what Ghana is doing is not taxation. This is a state-led robbery that leaves the citizens financially repressed. It should not be accepted.
That necessarily means that you have turned the corner or you even have a resilient economy, because it is yet to translate into the micro level. And you look at the cost of doing business. Businesses are still borrowing now in excess of 30%. Excess tax hikes that we've been talking about, some of which Prof mentions. Now we're talking 15% VAT on electricity, which again is not needed at this point, right? So you see the disconnect. So in one sense, we are celebrating some relative gains on the macroeconomic front, but it is not translating overnight into micro-level improvement in well-being and other sort of indicators. And that will take.
We were told that pensioners' fund will not be affected by the DDE. It's been affected. How do you take money that people who are on pension are supposed to have access to? How do you take portions out of it? So this government, this is a government in a quicksand. Whatever efforts they are making, they keep sinking. So they have to be thrown out.
Yeah, so you heard from Professor of Finance and Economics at the University of Ghana, Professor Godfred Bokpin, political risk analyst Dr. Kutu Acheampong, and South Day MP Roxanne Nelson Dafiamekbo. Now, they were all stating their views on Newsfile following the joint press conference between Ghana and the IMF, to mark the release of the $600 million, tranche. But, it's interesting. You heard Prof. Bokpin in rather strong words saying that this is not taxation. This is state-sponsored robbery.
We are in a hurry to shore up our tax to GDP ratio. But progressive taxation is whether or not the people can pay. We have already way past the regressive taxation zone because for some reason it is not even functioning anyway. And we are giving more fire and fuel to people who have intended to evade tax, to find other reasons for evading the tax. But this one, it's almost as if it's become another IMF rule that we have to comply with. So the people would always consistently create the impression that we are meeting big boys' directives. And that the economy of this republic must collapse for us to meet the directives. So that a lot of people will be on the streets unemployed. That we have nothing else to tax. That we have still been piling more taxes on the people. I'm not sure when we would draw the line. But it appears now, all of the sectors I know, they are complaining. I'm not sure whether government is listening to the complaints because we put together a certain policy, a tax policy going into the future, a medium-term one, which said that we are going to do progressive taxation, which required that we do a lot of reviews of some of even the current ones that we are put in place. When that's going to happen, how that's going to happen, perhaps because it's medium term, we are looking for the 3-year period to, run this course before we can agree that there's something wrong with our taxation as a country. At some point, we need to reset and rethink the philosophy behind this. I'm just adding more taxes whether people can pay or not cannot pay.
Well, that's what happens when your government runs to the IMF for a program that is largely driven by increased revenue mobilization. Ordinarily you would expect that when you run to the IMF, you're also looking at expenditure cuts. Now, as much as we went to the IMF with talks of expenditure cuts, what were these expenditure cuts? We went to the IMF talking about how we wanted to reduce, salaries of political appointees, how we wanted to, reduce other services like, fuel coupons and all of that. Then we indicated that we're going to cut down, our budget by some 25 to 30% in 2023, before we got the program. But that's actually, for me, a big issue. Why? Because all you have said is that, okay, this is what I'm going to do. At the time in 2022, when we asked for a lot of, we asked for a breakdown of how much it is that we wanted to save as a nation, we were not giving that breakdown. All we said was that we have reduced our budget by some 25%, a quarter, which the finance minister has the power to do. Now, over the period, and GRA consistently has been able to meet its targets. I know a lot of my friends at GRA have been unhappy with me when I have said that it's an indication that GRA, giving the needed support, can do more. But this is it for me. How were they able to increase these? Today, we have introduced a lot of revenue measures. But you ask yourself the simple question, is the Ghanaian in a position to pay?
Yeah.
The question is no. The answer is no. Why? Because a lot of these are indirect taxes. What happens to income tax? That's where the problem is. And that's where we need to put in place right measures. Later on one of these days, I would share with you the breakdown of, how much GRA made in 2023, and you would understand.
I just don't want to hear of any kenke party or cocktail party or any kind of celebration. That's all. That's all I need. We'll figure out the rest. Okay, let's breeze swiftly through these headlines real quick.
Now, the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning, time for moral vision to propel nation. Apostle Nyameche and Central Regional House of Chiefs endorses lithium mining agreement. They say they heard from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and also the Minerals Commission. $600 million second tranche release. IMF reposes trust in the economy. Says election won't derail gains. There's hope in government to do what's right. Global thinking. Local action must blend to spur development. This is Dan Boche's advocacy. Sounds more like vision.
Right. We have to go online now. The online review is brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy.
So people of Agbogba, Dental, Yarifa, Hacho, and its environs, we've got great news for you, your customer-focused bank. Zenith Bank now has a branch in Medina. Yes, it's a new year and we've brought our banking services closer to you. Visit Zenith Bank's Medina branch at Claydot Plaza, Redco Flats Bar Stop on the Medina Dental Road. No long-distance banking wahala. We've got you. It's a year of strengthening bonds with communities and drawing closer to you. We look forward to welcoming you to Zenith Bank's Medina branch. Exceptional service awaits you. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Now, what do you do when you're running out of fuel in your vehicle? Do you just stop up anywhere? Don't do that. Let's introduce you to the Good Energy family and why you must be part. Gold Super XP 195 and Diesel XP are the very best quality fuels with high performance in town for your vehicle. Gold Super XP 195 is a high-grade fuel sold at the same price as your normal fuel. Gold Diesel XP is low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle with over 440 stations across the nation. Join the family that rewards you with quality for an energized driving experience. Gold, good energy. Gold, your idea.
Lots of stories on myjoyonline.com for your perusal. Go check them out. Right now, though, it's time for us to go for the BBC News, brought to us by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us. And Old Mutual, 10 years of greatness in Ghana, here for a lifetime.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Want to feel energized for more? Fuel up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle. Our high grade fuel comes at no extra cost but with more power. And our Diesel XP, it's low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. Experience high performance and quality with our products. Available everywhere. Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Good energy.
Introducing Ceres Nectar, the essence of deliciousness. Ceres Nectar comes in 5 irresistible flavors. Multi-fruit fusion for a burst of deliciousness. Tropical blast for a taste of the exotic. Caribbean crush to whisk you away to sandy shores. Mango orange twist for a tropical twist, or the refreshing orange. Get your Ceres Nectar today in most supermarkets and wholesale outlets. This advert is FDA approved.
It's a century of safeguarding dreams with Enterprise Insurance. In the spirit of our 100th anniversary, Enterprise Insurance revs it up with Yafinia Motor Promotion. One lucky winner will cruise around in a sleek brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups will jet off to Dubai for an all-expense-paid escape. Renew or get your vehicle insurance between January and June 2024 and win free fuel coupons. Monthly raffle draws give you cool gadgets like laptops, Samsung phones, microwaves, gas cooker, tabletop fridge, and many many more. Enterprise Insurance Yafinia Motor Promotion is on at all our branches. Call your broker or agent to buy or renew your motor insurance and make history with Ghana's oldest insurance company. Truly trusted. That's the Enterprise Advantage. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Dear business owner, congrats on not giving up on your business. You deserve a medal, and your business deserves to be taken to the next level. In fact, it's about time you run a Zenith Bank SME account so you and your business can enjoy the perks of a Zenith SME business card. Oga and Oga Madam status.
The Zenith SME Business Card is a Visa debit card for making secure payments for goods and services. Enjoy great benefits such as free customized digital SME training, free marketing toolkits, access to Visa practical skills training, and more. Unlock the potential of your business today. Visit any Zenith Bank branch nationwide and sign up for the Zenith SME Business Card, the ultimate payment solution for SMEs. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com.gh or call 0302 680-884 or 0307-086-370. Zenith Bank, in your best interests.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
Day at 10 GMT. At 8:30 GMT, Business Daily.
Is it okay to judge people due to their age? Older workers are routinely being overlooked for new jobs and promotion, the evidence suggests, thanks largely to false assumptions. Why is ageism so socially acceptable?
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station. Hello and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with Rob Young and Sana Safi.
The Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has dropped out of the race for the Republican presidential nomination, leaving Nikki Haley as the only rival to former President Donald Trump.
The world's first malaria vaccine recommended by the World Health Organization is being rolled out in Cameroon today. We speak to the UN agency on what this means for millions of children worldwide.
A controversial ceremony is underway in the Indian city of Ayodhya as the Hindu nationalist Prime Minister Narendra Modi will soon inaugurate India's newest and biggest Hindu temple. We'll hear why.
And the UK's Ministry of Defence says it will upgrade a warship defence missile system now being used to shoot down hostile drones over the Red Sea.
Hello, I'm David Harper with the BBC News. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is inaugurating a new Hindu temple in the northern town of Ayodhya that was built on the ruins of a 16th century mosque. A large number of people died in religious riots across the country when the mosque was illegally torn down by a mob in 1992. Yogita Lamai reports.
People have been asked to celebrate the day like a festival. But many accuse the Prime Minister of violating India's secular constitution by opening the temple. It's also controversial because of the divisive history of the site. Muslims in Ayodhya have told the BBC that many will leave around the inauguration out of fear that there might be trouble again. Hundreds of thousands of Hindu worshippers are expected to visit the temple in the days after the opening.
A landslide has buried at least 47 people in Yunnan province in southwestern China. Hundreds of others have been moved to safety. Here's Laura Bicker.
The landslide hit the city of Jiaotong just before dawn. Dozens of villagers are unaccounted for and rescue operations are already underway, according to Chinese state media. More than 500 people have also been evacuated from the area. It's not yet clear what caused the landslide, but they are common in Yunnan, which is a remote region of China with steep mountain ranges. Temperatures in the region are bitterly cold, and there's also been heavy snow.
An investigation by BBC Arabic has found evidence that the United Arab Emirates hired American mercenaries to assassinate political opponents in Yemen. The company's Spear Group Operations is also alleged to have trained Emirati officers to carry out similar operations. The alleged killings happened between 2015 and 2020, when the UAE was involved in Yemen's civil war. The BBC's investigation found that some of those killed were social and political activists. The UAE says the allegations against it are false. The founder of Spear Group did not respond to the BBC. The US State and Defense Departments declined to comment. The Republicans, Donald Trump and Nikki Haley, will fight it out for the right to challenge Joe Biden to the White House, as Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis pulled out of his party's nomination race. Sarah Smith reports.
This is a humiliating end to Ron DeSantis' presidential ambitions. He was once seen as the most likely successor to Donald Trump, but he ran a weak campaign, appearing stiff, awkward and unlikable. After coming a poor second, 30 points behind Donald Trump in Iowa last week, he was predicted to come in third when New Hampshire votes tomorrow. His decision to drop out of the race early and endorse Mr. Trump won him praise from the Republican frontrunner at a rally in Rochester, New Hampshire.
But as you know, he left the campaign trail today at 3 p.m. and in so doing, he was very gracious and he endorsed me, so I appreciate it.
The Republican contest is now a two-person race between Donald Trump and Nikki Haley.
World News from the BBC. Heavy Israeli airstrikes and street battles with Hamas have been continuing in Gaza, where Palestinian health officials say the number of dead has passed 25,000. Residents of Khan Yunis in the south said Israeli tanks surrounded a hospital and university where thousands of people were sheltering. Cameroon is beginning the first rollout of the malaria vaccine RTS-S. It follows successful pilot campaigns in Kenya, Ghana and Malawi. The rollout will focus on infants in 42 districts worst affected by the mosquito-borne disease. Cameroon currently records about 6 million malaria cases each year and 4,000 deaths, most of them children under 5. Liberia's new president will be sworn in today. Joseph Boakai takes over from George Weah, who narrowly lost to him in the November runoff after a single term in office. The 79-year-old former vice president faces the perennial problem of fighting poverty and corruption in Liberia. The country is still scarred by the civil war that ended 20 years ago and by the 2014 Ebola outbreak. Leaders from the Western Balkans are meeting in North Macedonia today to discuss a European Union plan that aims to bring them closer to membership of the bloc. Our correspondent Guy Delaunay is in Skopje.
The title of the meeting sums up the ideal: Western Balkans growth plan and faster integration in the EU. Brussels is dangling a potential €6 billion worth of investment. That's conditional on countries making reforms that'll bring them closer to EU membership. But the region's leaders have heard it all before, going back to the Thessaloniki Declaration more than 20 years ago, and EU accession remains a distant dream. That's particularly true for the hosts. North Macedonia can't even start membership talks until it resolves a dispute with neighbouring Bulgaria, and Albania has a similar problem with its neighbour, Greece.
BBC Balkans correspondent Guy Delaunay. And that's the latest BBC News.
Imagine this. Your employees spend 1/3 of their lives at work. That's 13,000 days or 110,000 hours dedicated to their jobs. At Old Mutual, we don't just see the numbers, we see the faces and the dreams behind them. With our tailored group life insurance and pension plans, you can provide your employees with employee benefit schemes that gives them peace of mind for their futures and for their families. Make the choice that shows your commitment to your employees today. Call 0509-551-609 or email corporateservices@oldmutual.com.gh. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally.
Hi, my name is Stephen Appiah, the team coordinator of the Black Stars. I always like to keep hydrated naturally, every day, any day. S Natural Mineral Water does the trick.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advertisement is vetted and approved by the FDA.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
He's up bright and early, serving your premium morning radio show. The Morning Man. It's the Morning Man. Gojo Jackson.
Dougie told me he been on some positive. Yeah. Lately, I just want to show up and body some
coffee in your cup.
Always been a little mathematician. Lately, this cash get here. Got me losing count of these bags. I'm moving too fast. Hard times don't last. Remember when cops are rats talking about my boy, you ain't with a badge. All my life, they be trying to keep me down. All this time, never thought I'd make it out. No. No. All my life, they be trying to keep me down. I decided I had to finish, but the media called me a menace. I done sat with a million politicians, I'm trying to change the image. You can't blame my past no more, I come from the trenches. Some said I'd never be a superstar, but I know I'm different. I'm the voice, but the system ain't give me a choice. Know some people that still unemployed. I know a felon who trying to get forward. Child support, your only support. For a visit, I'm going through courts. Went to jail, they was chaining me up. And you know that I'm famous as see how you gon' joke about stimulus, but they really had came in the clutch. I know some kids wanna hurt themselves. Stop trying to take drugs, I refer to myself. Trying to better myself, trying to better my health. But all my life, they be trying to keep me down.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set.
All this
the
time,
Super Morning Show is always the best bet
I'd make it out.
Joy 99.7 FM.
No. No. All my life, they be trying to keep me down. First generation ghetto, cold world, hello. Made it out the city with my head on straight. Keep up the let out. Yo, enjoy the pill, gotta get out. Cause the that I spit out is a cheat code, like I'm facing a Rico. And I put a hit out, and another one, and another one. I got like 100 of them by the lap. So they think they're ahead of me, but I'm really in front of them now. Some of them fumbling they bad. Know the little crumbs that they had. A reminder to humble yourself. Could be gone in an instant. Me, I'm running long distance, all pistons firing. I've been stuck between maybe retiring and feeling like I'm just not hitting my prime. These days, seeing rappers be dying way before they even getting they shine. I never even heard a little buddy till somebody murder little buddy. Now I'm on the phone searching little buddy name. Got to playing his tunes all day in my room. Thinking, damn, it's wicked to get their names buzzing. Some just gotta go lay in a tune. And media thirsty for clicks. I got a new rule, if you ain't ever posted a rapper when he was alive, you can't post about him after he get hit. It's simple, it's the principle, on any tempo, I'm invincible, don't even rap, I just vent to you, I'd rather that than an interview, most days, more like I'm going through a phase, young out the whip like road rage, I pray all of my dogs stay so paid, and
coffee in your cup, and Joy on the set, the Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Why you hating and being jealous? You could be over here embracing that love, more blessings, more life. God did. You either win with us or you watch us win. DJ Khaled.
They wanted to stop, but look at us now. They counted us out.
Time to say a
They
prayer.
didn't think that we would make it up. They didn't
Maybe bow our heads.
but I know God did. Oh, yes, we did. God did.
God is great.
contributions to the development of Ghana.
Up to today, nobody has succeeded in doing what he did because Ghana exported food for the first time, thousands of tons, and we have never exported food since then.
In those few moments of conversation, I observed two things in the general: his humility and empathy. I was also impressed with his appreciation of Ghana's history and the need for nations to honor their prophets, to honor their heroes.
Now, what a lot of people didn't know was that the original date for the coup was the 15th of January. But it leaked. The intelligence system got to know about it.
Yeah, quite an iconic character. Yeah. At the time he took over the reins of state, he had actually just been promoted to colonel from lieutenant colonel. He didn't know. While he was giving the announcement, somebody prodded him and said, "Oh, you just said you are lieutenant colonel, but you are actually Colonel I." And then answer what colonel.
You know, there are things that many over the years have come to know about Acheampong, right? And I'm interested to know whether they are true or they bear any semblance of the facts on the ground.
So many mythical, claims.
Yes.
Kumasi Legon.
Yeah. Cape Coast Legon. Yeah. And the running mate saga.
Oh.
Mama B is showing me something. I wanted to say it herself.
Yes.
No, there's a golf bit, but that's
There's
all
a
I can
golf
say.
bit. Oh, why can't you say the whole
Is it golf, the sport, or the car? So anyway,
it's for you to do.
Oh, okay.
It was in the days of barter trade.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I think one of the other things that
economic policy
people remember him for is the agriculture bits as well.
Yeah.
And I think for many years, people, when we say bring back that bit of Acheampong, is that agriculture.
Operation Feed Yourself.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. But we don't remember the Intia part. Oh no, it was also a major.
That's the money. The money is payable when able.
You know, students supported that.
Yes. No, but that's because because the money is payable when able. And I remember.
No, but that's a solid principle, right?
Yes, I don't have money, so how do I pay you? So that's actually, you know that one of his advisors was Dan Latte.
Yeah.
So Dan Latte.
You mean domestication?
Yes. So Dan Latte. So I remember Dan Latte saying that he told Acheampong that Nana, the money is payable when able. And he was like, Matu was here. They say and
thus economic policy was formed.
Yeah. Yes. And you see that Acheampong had an advisor who was only 19 years.
Yes.
An advisor who was only 19 years. And that young advisor influenced a lot of decisions in this part of our world, in this country. You know, even to use plays Osofodazi to shape the psyche, to shape the thinking of the state. And so what was known as SK Opong Group became Osofodazi.
Yes.
And that young man, later on you get to hear from him, would move on from being a lawyer to even writing a physics book.
Yeah.
Very intelligent man.
Yes, intelligent.
Extremely intelligent. I mean, a phenom, a prodigy at that age. Yeah.
Acheampong to identify young people. It didn't matter. I mean, in a part of the world when we always look for old people to advise us.
Yes, and some old people will say merely because you have beard and other things, there's no sense in your head.
Can you imagine?
I mean,
Yes. That's what some of the old people think today. Yes.
So, I mean, all the myth about Acheampong and, all the guarantees and everything, today you get to learn more about the man.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Who actually spoke like, he had just returned from the US.
Well, because he had.
So it's not true that his prof was not good.
No, but he was a teacher before.
He was a teacher before he even joined the army.
Oh, so that one too is not true. You people have done a lot of disservice to
you know that Obasanjo actually came to the Ghana Military Academy.
Okay.
With Acheampong. For some reasons, when they were graduating, you won't find Acheampong's name there, but he was actually part of that group.
Apparently, there was some reason why he wasn't going to be graduated, and Kwame Nkrumah had to step in.
Yeah.
And say there were two of them who were not going to graduate, and he had to step in and say, no, we can't. We need Ghanaian officers in our military at the toppest, at the highest point of our, what is toppest? At the highest point of our, levels of our military. And so you cannot disqualify these two. And so he intervened, and Acheampong ended up graduating. You need to listen to this documentary. It's fascinating stuff, great stuff indeed, reminding us of the legacy of General Ignatius Kutu Acheampong. Stay tuned, it all unfolds right here on the Super Morning Show.
Wake up to joy, 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 sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the Super Morning Show. Yeah, wake up to joy, joy in the morning. Yeah, if you're turning on your radio, go for some joy in the morning on the Super Morning Show.
Welcome to the Joy Super Morning Show. And Yafini, enterprise insurance leader in general insurance since 1924, celebrates 100 years with the Yafini Motor Insurance promotion. One lucky winner would drive off in a brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups would jet off to Dubai, all expense paid. To win, purchase or renew your vehicle insurance with Enterprise between January and June 2024. Monthly raffle draws offer you lovely laptops, TVs, microwaves, fridges, and more. Also win instant free fuel coupons and gifts. Visit any Enterprise insurance branch or call your broker or agent. Call us directly on 0302 634 777. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise, your advantage.
And the Office of the Registrar of Companies has introduced premium services in response to clients' request for fast-track services. So the Prestige Center offers a bouquet of services, including registration of business names, companies, professional bodies, updating of businesses from the historical database DAPT, re-registration, also filing of annual returns, and renewal of businesses with the delivery of certificates and profiles in 24 hours. Come and experience a premium class service. Visit the ORC, that's the Office of the Registrar of Companies, located at the Registrar General's Department in Accra. Call them on their hotline 0302 666 081 or 0302 664 79123. You can also send WhatsApp or Telegram and send it to 055 765 3130. Join us on social media, and the handle is at ORC Ghana. ORC, a trusted partner for business.
Now, every time we eat food and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and also in some cases foul breath. Now, brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent charcoal and Pepsodent herbal toothpaste. Pepsodent charcoal is made of a fine blend of fluoride with a unique combination of natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc to whiten your teeth, strengthen them, and remove bad odor from your mouth. Charcoal white gently polishes away tooth stains and naturally restores your bright smile. For our herbal lovers, try Pepsodent herbal toothpaste, which is infused with a unique blend of green tea and herbal extracts, formulated to repair and protect your gums while giving an all-round cooling sensation. Pepsodent Herbal releases, repairs, and protects gum tissue while giving you strong teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for 25 good years. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. Pepsodent gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist for free. Call toll free 0800 161 000 to talk to a dentist for free. You can get Pepsodent at any shop near you. Call our customer care center on toll free 0800 200 030. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
Now it's time to start the new year with easy and secure movement with the SG Ghana. Get insured and receive free fuel for your car. Buy or renew your sound drive insurance with SG Ghana between now and the 31st of March and get free fuel up to 500 Ghana cedis for your trips. It's time to hit the road with reliable insurance and free fuel. Go to any SG Ghana branch today and get the cover you need for your car. Plus, free fuel to take you places. Terms and conditions apply. So, SG Ghana, the future is you.
And Kingdom's Books and Stationery Limited, your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture at affordable prices. Now they've introduced an online store for your shopping convenience. This means you can simply shop by logging on to kingdomstoreonline.com without physically coming to any of their branches. It is hassle-free, and they will arrange delivery to your home and office within a reasonable time. And they offer free delivery within Accra and Tema and accept payment via Momo across all networks. Terms and conditions apply at Kingdom. Quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
And it's the Imperial Insure and Win Promo Reloaded. Insure your vehicle with Imperial General Assurance from now till the end of April and get yourself handsome rewards, fuel coupons, special souvenirs, gift vouchers, and many more. And here's the catch. During this reward period, your motor insurance policy will give you an automatic 1-year life insurance cover. You could also get brand new car tires and other car accessories as well. It is really reloaded. Everybody qualifies. Just come insure your car and you are done. Call Imperial General Assurance today on 0577 667 436 or talk to your broker or any of their agents across the country for further details. You can also follow them on social media. Terms and conditions apply. Imperial General Assurance, solid protection.
All right, well, I guess it's time now for the nutrition line from Nestle, and you know what they do. They offer good food for a good life.
Mavis, this your son? Yeah, football star. When does he train? What time does he even wake up?
Breakfast time. No, he wakes up earlier, but when I give him Milo with breakfast, that's when I see that the champion in him is awake.
Don't just wake up your child, wake up the champion in him. Let Milo with Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa help wake up the champion in your child every day. Milo, energy to go further. Milo! This advert is FDA approved.
This is Nestle Nutrition Line. Nestle Nutrition Line is a public service program from Nestle Ghana Limited. Nestle Nutrition Line offers tips on good food for a good life. Now to your presenter.
Hello, good morning. Some like it hot, some like it cold, but we like it the Nestle Nutrition way. So I'd like to welcome you warmly to the sweetest corner of the day. I'm Jackie Ankara, also known as Na Ajelisoa. How are you feeling? Well and strong and looking forward to a beautiful day, I hope. Today we've got a weight loss tip, and it is to eat slowly. Slow eating is very important and is a habit that can help you eat less and lose some weight. During a meal, the stomach begins to stretch as food enters it, and as it gets full, hormones produce signals to the brain telling it you're satisfied. When you chew and eat quickly, you're more likely to have overeaten by the time satiety signals are sent from the stomach. On the other hand, if you eat slowly and deliberately, you're more likely to receive satisfaction signals from the stomach in time not to overeat. If you have tried this and failed in the past, it could be because of a situation called leptin resistance, where overweight and obese people become less responsive to the satisfaction signals sent. This means even if they eat slowly, they still won't feel satisfied enough to stop eating. That is why you should combine eating slowly with eating in smaller dishes, eating more green vegetables, and other techniques to help you control portion sizes. This is all that time will allow for today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I always enjoy my time with you, and I look forward to spending more. So do please join us again on our next episode. I'd like to thank you for tuning in this and every weekday morning, and to say your feedback is precious. So do please reach out, let us know what you're thinking, feeling, so we can work together for a healthier, longer, happier life. The numbers to call 0302 517 020 or 0302 211 880. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Toll free 0800 12 0001. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to midnight. Weekends and holidays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. To send a WhatsApp, SMS, or call between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. 0593 845697, 0593 845649, or 0593 845708. Alternatively, you can send an email to consumerservices@gh.nestle.com. So I hope you're doing well with New Year resolutions. Don't forget that hurdles are meant to be overcome. So get over them and be the winner, the champion, the victor that you were made to be. Have a great day. Bye.
Mavis, this your son. Yeah, football star. When does he train? What time does he even wake up?
Breakfast time. No, he wakes up earlier, but when I give him Miller with breakfast, that's when I see that the champion in him is awake.
Don't just wake up your child, wake up the champion in him. Let Milo with Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa help wake up the champion in your child every day. Milo, energy to go further. Milo! This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year. Only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfits.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data, or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN just for you. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique just for you package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Have you ever thought of the one that makes you complete? An escape from the clutches of interest charges. With the Standard Chartered Visa debit and credit cards, payments are completed at the speed of light, intertwined with interest-earning accounts. You also get unbelievable rewards every time you swipe. You have access to over 1,200 airport lounges worldwide, high credit limits of up to 100,000 Ghana cedis, and up to 50 days interest-free with our credit cards. You also get to enjoy full multi-trip travel insurance for 90 days. Fees discounted at your feet with our globally partnered merchant points. Bills are always settled, not battled. Get the Standard Chartered debit and credit card now. Call toll-free on 0800 740 100 or 0302 740 100, or reach us via email on feedback.ghana@sc.com. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Wake up, have a great day, yeah, with nourishing cowbell premium milk and cowbell Vita Rich, nourishment for you. There's a cowbell milk for you, for you, for you. Cowbell Vita Rich and cowbell premium.
Introducing the new Cowbell Premium Milk, high in protein, and the new Cowbell Vita-Rich, enriched with vitamin B9, both so creamy. Now there's a Cowbell for you.
Cowbell, a creamy goodness.
This advert is FDA approved.
Be part of the moments to remember with Afcon 2023 on DSTV. Experience Africa's biggest football tournament with all 52 thrilling games live and in HD the way you like it. Enjoy expert commentary that will blow your mind.
It's a gorgeous finish. Super goal.
And the finest analysis to keep you in the game. Live your pride, passion, and love for Africa's beautiful game from the 13th of Jan to the 11th of Feb on Supersport or anywhere on DSTV Stream.
All right, birthday messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by
MTN.
Everywhere you go. Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group,
as close as a partner.
All right,
so I've just got one birthday. This one says, we've been through everything. Okay, so it says a birthday note to my bestie. We've been through everything together and God has been gracious to us. May your birthday today open divine doors and opportunities for you. May God answer all your silent prayers and may you find favor with God. Happy birthday. Mrs. Rhoda Mpedu of Ecobank Ghana Limited, from no other than LC Adra Bicham Esquire of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. That's all from me.
All right, now I've got one here, and it says, happy birthday to Mrs. Cynthia Minta, Head of Corporate and Institutional Banking Department of Cal Bank. May the Lord continue to bless you. It's from the Team CIBD of Cal Bank. Also, happy birthday to Emmanuel Owusu Adasi of FDA. God bless you, from your family and friends. And I think I have just one more. And this one says, happy birthday, happy 8th birthday to the adorable daughter Danessa Kwatima Tiku of Pastor and Mrs. Obing Tiku in Kufuridia.
Have we said happy birthday to Elder Isaac Owusu? Well, you're a mark of true humility and rare grace. God bless you. Is from the team at Empraise Incorporated.
Today is the birthday of Rocky Dawuni.
And this one says, a belated happy birthday to Mr. Amegbenyu Afeti, Chief Ima from Amwa and the team.
The Joy Sports Center is brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go, Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. DSTV, it's your moment. And Cowbell,
a creamy goodness. So the wait is over as the clash of the Titans, the Total Energies CAF African Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire 2023 is here. And as part of this year's competition, all Total Energy service stations will go into 100% football mood. So drive to selected service stations and kickstart the year with lots of amazing giveaways. This is our way of supporting our gallant Black Stars, and so it started on 14th January, and today when the Black Stars play, you get to go drive to every Total station and you get all the goodies. You win instantly, branded souvenirs. Let's celebrate the passion of of football together and win loads of gifts during the 2023 Total Energies Afcon. Remember, promo is valid while stock lasts. Visit our social media pages, Total Energies GH, for more information. Terms and conditions apply. #football together.
Now, did you know that MTN Momo now has an app? Yes, MTN Momo has a brand new app specially designed to make your Momo experience easier, convenient, and faster. Just download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store on your smartphone and look out for the blue and yellow icon. It's that simple. Momo app allows you to view your statements, pay bills, and so much more. Use the app for your Momo transactions and enjoy 100% bonus when you recharge using the Momo app. So go on, download the Momo app now and start transacting with a flex at no data cost. Just Momo it everywhere you go.
And it's time you got yourself the Standard Chartered Visa credit card. You could get and spend up to 100,000 Ghana cedis free of charge with an offer to pay back in 50 days without paying any interest charges. Now, that's a jolly good idea. You could get up to 20% discount when you swipe at selected merchant points and partners. And listen, while you enjoy all these, you could also win a trip to tour selected cities across Europe. So don't let money stop you from doing the lovely things you want to do. It's time to settle bills and not battle them. Let's make merry with Standard Chartered's Visa debit and credit cards. This could be your best time ever. Call toll free on 0800 740 100 or 0302 740 100. You can send an email to feedback.ghana@sc.com. Standard Chartered, here for good. Fence?
Thank you very much, Mama V. Good to have you back.
Good to see you, man.
Good morning to all of you. Welcome aboard to the Joy Sports Center with me, Fentio Tahiru Fentio. There's only one place to begin. And of course, it's Destiny Day for the Black Stars at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. They take on Mozambique in a must-win final Group B game at the Olympic Stadium of Ebimbe. This has become necessary, of course, after Ghana lost their opening group game against Cape Verde and drew the second against Egypt. The Black Stars currently sit third in Group B and must win against the Mambas and hope other results go their way for them to qualify to the round of 16 as one of 4 third-place teams. Team wrapped up preparations for the game yesterday with a final training session in Abidjan ahead of tonight's all-important clash. The Black Stars head coach Chris Hughton says he is psyching his team for a very tough match.
We are aware of the magnitude of this game. We know that if this is a game that we have to win. Our preparation going into the game has been the same as in the two previous games, and all we can do is prepare the team to play a very tough match, as all of these games are. And to make sure that we put in a level of performance that allows us to win the game.
That's Chris Hughton. Now, tonight's game against Mozambique feels like deja vu, bringing back memories of the final group game against Comoros at the last Afcon in Cameroon 2 years ago, where Ghana needed to win and progress, but they lost the match. Hughton says his team is desperate to avoid a repeat.
There is not one person associated with the Black Stars, and if I'm speaking about the players, there is none of the 27 players that we have here that want to be eliminated from this tournament. We are very conscious as a group what that means. What that means to the team, what that means to the football association, the environment and the country. We are very, very aware. So what happened in the past can be a reference point.
That's Chris Hughton. Let's stay with him because he's also been providing some squad news and injury concerns, one of them being Majid Ashimeru, who picked up a knock in the game against Egypt and had to be substituted in the 62nd minute. Hughton is confident he will be fit for tonight's game.
We are still assessing him, but the signs are good. He will train today, and the signs are good that he will be fine. And this was a situation in the game where we had to bring him off. He'd received a kick in training before that, and a consequence of that meant as he started to get into the latter part of the game, he was feeling it.
That's Chris Hughton there. Now, one person that was with him at that pre-match press conference was Dennis Odoi, and he says the Black Stars must not take too much or too many risks in order for them to avoid the costly mistakes they made against Egypt.
3 of the 4 goals we conceded we could have avoided, but at this level you make certain decisions, and if you make the wrong decision, then it can be fatal. And unfortunately for us, it's been fatal on a few too many occasions. I don't think this is creeping into people's heads. I think we need to learn from it, and then in the upcoming game try to avoid the smallest of mistakes and maybe not take too much risk to avoid any unnecessary goals against.
That's Dennis Odoi. Mozambique's head coach is Chiquinho Koundé, who spoke through a translator and says his team will approach the game like a final.
Knowing that Ghana is Ghana and it's a giant in this African continent, so we need to respect them. However, we will not approach the match as a loser. We should continue to play as it was the last time we played. It should be considered as the finals.
That's Chiquinho Koundé, the Mozambique's head coach. Now, on Saturday, there were some Afcon winners, past Afcon winners. Reverend Osei Kofi, James Kukudazi, Kofi Parry and Willie Clochi, 4 of them. They visited the Black Stars training session. They were flown there by the GFA, of course, and their job was to motivate the team ahead of tonight's big clash against Mozambique. Kukudazi, who won the Afcon in 1978, says the Black Stars must follow basic principles against the Mambas because formations and systems don't necessarily win matches.
I always say that a formation or system doesn't win matches. Okay? Yeah. We have principles of play, both in defense and in the attack. If you get your principles right, you do it, okay, during the 90 minutes in the game, you will not be beaten, but rather you will beat your opponent.
Meanwhile, Darzy's teammate, Willie Cloche, he is urging the Black Stars to put aside their egos and focus on teamwork.
the best thing for them to do is to talk to themselves, minus the coaches and the technical team or the management of the team. The playing bodies themselves, the captain have to organize that meeting and talk to themselves, to be frank to themselves that Charlie, people are expecting more from us than what we are putting up there. And self-ego and those things must be buried, and teamwork must play a role now.
That's fully clutched it there. 1978 Afcon winner. Kick-off for the game between Ghana and Mozambique, of course, is at 8 p.m. And you can join us on Afcon today on Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News and the Joy Prime channel at 1 p.m. for a comprehensive preview of that particular game. Of course, at the same time, the other opponents in the group will be in action. We'll talk about that shortly, but let's now review what happened over the weekend at the Afcon.
Bimba chips it over. Mishakelia, chance here. Silas, the sub, does it. Silas makes it 1-1.
Yeah, Morocco, they were denied early run of 16 qualification as they were held to a 1-1 draw by DR Congo yesterday. After the game, a very ugly scenes unfolded. Morocco and DR Congo players clashed, but it's 1-1, and that's how that game ended. Elsewhere, there was a massive victory for South Africa.
As a long ball is played through, now a chance here once again to break, and could it turn to 4? It definitely does. Icing on the cake, and an inspired substitution as the Bello Maseko done 3-4.
Yeah, an emphatic 4-0 win, I beg your pardon, for South Africa against Namibia yesterday, which has now boosted their chances of qualifying to the round of 16. In the other group game, Tunisia and Mali played out a 1-1 draw on Saturday. Mali, of course, they've got 4 points now. Tunisia have just the one after losing their opening game, so not looking good for them. South Africa's victory is taking them to second in the group. Meanwhile, Baghdad Buneja, he scored a brace to secure a 2-2 draw for Algeria, who are still winless, and third in Group D. Angola, they edged Mauritania 3-2 in a thrilling clash in Bouaké at 5 p.m. today. The final Group A matches will be played simultaneously, with host nation Cote d'Ivoire taking on Equatorial Guinea, while Nigeria face Guinea-Bissau. Ghana's Group B opponents, Cape Verde and Egypt, will play at 8 p.m. The same time, the Black Stars will be playing against Mozambique. Elsewhere in Afcon news, the Egyptian FA and Liverpool have reached an agreement for Mohamed Salah to fly to England for treatment after he picked up an injury in the Ghana game. Salah will attend Egypt's final group game today and then fly to Merseyside for treatment, and he still hopes to recover in time for a semi-final match with Egypt if Egypt progress to the round of 16, or at least to the semi-finals. Let's do some more football now, women's football this time around. The Black Princesses, that's Ghana's under-20 women's national team, they have sealed a 7th consecutive qualification to the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup following an emphatic 5-1 win over Senegal at the Babaya Stadium on that was yesterday. They completed a 7-1 aggregate victory against the Teranga Lionesses to secure their spot in Colombia later this year. And before we go, locally based Ghanaian athletes have moved to Cape Coast to begin camping ahead of the Africa Games, which take place in Accra in just 46 days' time. The contingent of athletes include boxers, track and field athletes, as well as badminton players. Now, President of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Benunu Mensah, admits camping has started late for Team Ghana's athletes, and they now face a race against time to prepare adequately for the multi-sport event.
It would have been better if we had started preparing much earlier, especially being the host country. And then also if we had given some of our athletes the opportunity to go out there, camp within Africa, and maybe test their strength, or as you guys do in football, play friendly matches with some of the countries that we eventually be coming to compete with us. But I guess because of money, it hasn't been possible to do that. But what is important is that at least we're beginning something, we're starting campaign, and I hope that once everybody goes into camp and then we become a bit more serious, maybe we'll have whatever we miss from not having adequate preparation would have been covered by the preparation that we're doing now.
That's the president of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Ben Nunu Mensah. And my name is Fentu, Sahil Fentu, and that's all on Sports Center this morning. Back to you, Mamavi.
All right, thanks, Fent. For sports, there's more sports on my joyonline.com. Right now, though, we have to quickly go to Uncle White for Food for Thoughts, which is brought to us always by Riverman Productions. Be the difference. Good morning,
Gorgeous.
Uncle. Happy New Year.
Gorgeous, I haven't seen you in a whole year.
I know. I took a little break.
All right. I hope you feel rested.
Yes, I need more though, but I'll have
Olivia Twist.
Yes, I have to do with what I got.
Well, Mavi, let me take a moment to greet Mrs. Emily Abochi. She's the wife of Professor Kofi Abochi. She is listening to us now. Her husband tells me that she has a portable radio that she carries around the house, just so she doesn't miss the program. Oh. So, Mrs. Emily Abochi, good morning. And this is a conspiracy between your husband and I. Have a fantastic day. Samson is one of the best known or popular characters in the Bible. He is definitely one of my favorite Bible characters. He is a very colorful character, and if he is popular with us today, imagine how much of a celebrity he might have been in his day. The fact that he never cut his hair might have given him a Bob Marley, Lucky Dube, or our own Kojo kind of vibe. And his exploits might have made him a household name everywhere. He was strong beyond anyone we can compare him with. He killed a lion with his bare hands. He used the jawbone of a donkey to kill 1,000 men. This was a man who used 300 foxes as weapons of warfare to destroy a whole season's harvest, and all wheat farms and all vineyards and olive groves in Philistine. In one move, he destroyed the whole economy of a major city using foxes. This was a man who was the most wanted in Philistine, and yet he could enter Philistine whenever he liked. On one occasion, he entered Philistine to spend the night with a prostitute. Of course, the news of his presence and his mission and whereabouts became public knowledge, and the plan was hatched to arrest him. The gates of the city were locked to keep him inside to make it easier to arrest him. And the men surrounded the place, waiting to arrest him at daybreak. However, at midnight, Samson got up to leave, and when he found the city gates locked, he simply uprooted the huge gates from their solid foundations and carried them away on his shoulders. But maybe the most well-known aspect of the Samson story is his ill-fated romantic relationship with Delilah, and how she got him to disclose the secret of his strength and then betrayed him. This has been the theme of sermons and movies for centuries. Delilah's betrayal led to his arrest, and the hero of his people ended up in the hands of his enemies, who took out his eyes and put him to work as what we call today as nika nika. In other words, he was put to work to grind grain. But this morning, I want to focus our attention on how he died and on just one of the many lessons from that. As the Bible tells it, the Philistines declared a major feast for Dagon, their god, to celebrate the arrest of their arch enemy Samson. The event was held in the temple of Dagon. Everyone who mattered in Philistine was present at the temple for the feast. To indicate how massive the attendance at the feast was, we are told that there were about 3,000 men and women on the roof. If there were that many on the roof, you can imagine how many were inside the temple. At the climax of the feast, the people demanded that Samson be brought to perform for them. And a boy led him in by the hand because Samson's eyes, as I have said, had been removed at his arrest, and he could therefore not see. He performed for the crowd for some time, and then he said to the boy who was with him, quote, "Let me feel the pillars which support the temple so that I can lean on them," end of quote. And when he could feel the pillars that supported the temple, Samson said the last prayer for strength and begged to die with his enemies. And then he pulled the temple down by pulling the two pillars down. Think of it. The huge temple whose roof could take 3,000 men and women was brought down by pulling down two pillars. You see, every structure has its support. And if you want to bring the structure down, all you have to do is to target its support. This is very significant because we can apply it to every aspect of life. Take soccer. There are 11 players in a team, but if you want to beat a team, you don't have to concern yourself with all the 11 players. All you need is to focus on neutralizing the one or two players on whose shoulders the team rests. But we can also apply this to a nation. Every nation depends on some principles for its progress and development. If you want to destroy a nation, just look for those principles or values and destroy them, and the nation is finished. In Ghana, the principles that we have chosen to build our nation on are freedom and justice. These are enshrined as the motto of Ghana on our national coat of arms. You will also find them highlighted in the preamble of Ghana's 1992 Constitution, where we solemnly declare and affirm our commitment to freedom, justice, probity, and accountability. You also find them underscored in Chapter 6 of the Constitution, the same Constitution, under the directive principles of state policy, where we say that Ghana shall be a democratic state dedicated to the realization of freedom and justice. In other words, Ghana as a state rests on the twin pillars of freedom and justice. There are other pillars, for sure, but for Ghana, take away freedom and justice, and we do not have a state. Freedom is the ability to think, act, and speak without restraint and fear. I can see what price the nation pays when freedom is compromised in the ongoing Afcon tournament. After every disastrous international campaign for the Black Stars, there are two reports on the causes for the Black Stars' poor performance. There's a report that is put out in the media and for the public. This report is often watered down with key factors omitted for fear of victimization. Then there's a second report which is given to friends and given off record. This never becomes public. The result, the real causes of the downfall of Ghana, of Ghana's Black Stars remain uncovered, and hence the team continues to struggle. But let's go beyond soccer to politics. Since the promulgation of the 1992 Constitution, we have created a state in which you are either NPP or NDC. Being a Ghanaian is irrelevant. If you are perceived as NPP, then an NDC government feels justified to crush you. In the same way, if you are perceived as NDC, then an NPP government thinks it is its responsibility to crush you. The great law professor Kofi Abochi says, we don't have Ghanaians anymore. We have NDCians and NPPians. Justice holds that everyone is equal before the law and demands that individuals are held accountable for their actions. And yet we have created a situation where if your government is in power, you can get away with a lot. Why does the fight against corruption fail? Why does Galamsey continue to destroy our water bodies? Why does very little work in Ghana? There's only one answer to these questions, and it is this: the pillars on which the nation rests, that is freedom and justice, are being pulled down in the name of democracy. It is time we wake up before Ghana collapses on all of us. In our national anthem, we pray as a nation for the boldness to defend the cause of freedom and of right. May God hasten to answer that prayer for us before Ghana becomes a failed nation. And gorgeous, that is my presentation for this morning. And let me say, I missed you a lot, and your bronya dear is still waiting.
Hey, thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much. I was just going to say amen to that prayer. Amen. On behalf of all citizens of Ghana.
That's right, yes.
Thank you, Uncle.
So, gorgeous, I'll see you again. May the Black Stars make you happy today.
That one. Uncle, what do you see? Are we coming home?
Oh, gorgeous. It started as a good day. Let's keep it that way.
Sure thing. Uncle Ebo White with Food for Thoughts here on the Super Morning Show. Thank you so much, Uncle Ebo White. And Food for Thoughts brought to us always by Roverman Productions, Be the Defense. Uncle Ebo will be back on Thursday for another Food for Thoughts. Hopefully, he will be happy to talk about the Black Stars then. But our social media messages here on the show brought to us by EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa. And Provident Insurance. With Provident, man, you are covered.
Across Africa, a new era has begun, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future, a Pan-African future, together. EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa.
Provident Insurance welcomes you to a new year. Remember to insure your new car or renew your existing motor insurance from the 1st of January to the 31st of March. You can win free gifts such as fuel coupons and several other branded Provident souvenirs. Rush for insurance cover now. Terms and conditions apply.
Insurance, your future happy days.
With Provident, man, you are covered.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
That's right, it's the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7. In about 30 seconds, we'll bring you the Joy Business Minute, which is proudly brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG. We stand with you and Anointed Electricals, the generator experts.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
And it's 8 o'clock. Here's the Joy Business Minute.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you and Anointed Electricals, the generator experts. Ghana is hoping to secure a 7-year moratorium on Eurobond interest payments as it moves to restructure the debt instruments. It's also pushing for up to 40% interest rate cut. Rating agency Fitch has pushed forward the timeline for Ghana to emerge from default on its foreign currency debt to mid-year instead of the end of the year. The International Monetary Fund has described Ghana's economy as showing signs of recovery. This was after the country completed its first review under the fund program, resulting in some $600 million in disbursement. And checks are to be carried out on a second Boeing aircraft model following the blowout of an unused door on one of its planes earlier this month. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration grounded more than 170 of the 737 MAX 9 fleet. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you and Anointed Electricals, the generator experts.
Super Morning Show. Wake up. Good morning. Good morning.
Thanks to Daryl and the business team for bringing us the Joy Business Minutes. It's brought to us at 8 a.m. every weekday here on the Super Morning Show. Courtesy Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG, we stand with you, and Anointed Electricals, the generator expert. So receiving money from your family and friends abroad should never be a hassle. CBG Remittance Services is offering a reliable, fast and convenient way to receive funds abroad. Visit any of CBG's 114 branches nationwide to receive your Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, Small World, Unity Link, Transfast, PayAngel, S-Remit, ATL and SIG money transfers. They have dedicated remittance centers at Nima, Kaswa Main, Medina Market, Apenkwa and Spentex Basket branches. They've extended service hours, so closing to the public at 5 p.m. on weekdays and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. All you need is to provide a valid national ID, phone number and money transfer reference number, and expect a smooth experience every step of the way. For further inquiries, contact CBG on 0302 216 1000. You can also send an email to talktous@cbg.com.gh or visit any of CBG's social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Terms and conditions apply. CBG, we stand with you.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
All right, coming up on the Super Morning Show this morning.
In his 8 years as head of state, General Icheampong undertook many impactful initiatives, but the narrative of his regime has been one of stereotypes, myths, prejudices, anecdotes, and gossips that do not do justice to his many contributions to the development of Ghana.
Up to today, nobody has succeeded in doing what he did, because Ghana exported food for the first time, thousands of tons, and we have never exported food since then.
We shed light on some of the most important but little known dark passages in our national history. We talk about Acheampong, head of military governments of Ghana from 1972 to 1978. He led a coup d'etat to overthrow the democratically elected government of the Progress Party. But beyond that, what do we know? All that's coming up here on the Super Morning Show. You've got to stay with us. That's our big story brought to us by Vodafone Feather Together. And of course, latest from your partner for life. Now, looking for the best value data and voice offers? Look no further, as Vodafone has unbeatable deals made just for you. To enjoy these amazing Vodafone offers, just dial *530# and get onto any of the Vodafone Made For Me bundles. For as little as 1 Ghana cedis, Vodafone Made For Me has got just what you need. This offer is specially made for you. Simply dial *530# or visit my Vodafone app to subscribe. Remember, Vodafone, Feather Together. And every day we face different emergencies. We've just started 2024. We're still in January. Hopefully you don't have a money emergency. But whenever you do, *770# will come to your rescue. So still feel confident. Just dial *770#. That's the EcoBank Money Emergency number. It gives you instant access to loans, fund transfers, utility payments, airtime and data purchases, and so much more. You can do with *770# even without data. So there's no need to panic when you look at the calendar. Don't panic at all. The fact that we're still in January. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial *770# now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. And Provident Insurance welcomes you to a new year. Remember to insure your new car or renew your existing motor insurance policy from now till the 31st of March and get free gifts such as fuel coupons and several other branded Provident souvenirs. Rush for your insurance cover now. Terms and conditions apply. And remember, with Provident, man, you're covered.
Wake up, good morning, good morning.
In those few moments of conversation, I observed two things in the general: his humility and empathy. I was also impressed with his appreciation of Ghana's history and the need for nations to honor their prophets, to honor their heroes.
Super Morning Show.
Bank
bank that supports you, a bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams come alive, CBG will make you smile. We will rise with you. Your business will flourish, your name will stand out. Consolidated Bank, CBG. We stand with you.
Amafwe! Yeah! Media sambisanda mo. Eti emrati no. Mumu hwan pa na tumi hwe na mo bodompe mo man yakono. Eye kwabna. Na mumu hwan so na tumi tasmale me ma yene nyina de. Eye kojo. Yampa. Enu kro. Kwabra tumi hwe na bodompe mo sense o yisu president eba. Ayede aban ne do braye. Bu si eti na mo hoban na sem mana hoode ne. Sa! Ani na kudwo so yisu president chako. Na eno ne de e ma wo se wo ye kregen fita. Na watimi asiri bejo mama na feel you. Hey kojo sa. Yeah. President Heba and President Chaco. Afedie. Ya kono natural.
FD aje twadi nkato yatu.
Of late, things no easy, crowd. For my business inside, pressure day from customers. If I make payments, give suppliers, Okada riders, delivery charges, no easy. Things no they move fast like before because everything make expensive. The family where they house, see what are they talk? Family where they call, they ask for another money. No easy. Vodafone Cash be the only thing where they make my ID get to. If I they do transfers for Vodafone Cash, it they save me money. If you they do Vodafone Cash to Vodafone Cash transactions, still no transfer charges dey. Even if I they send money to another network, I they get value.
Make you dial *110# to send money. Sending money from Vodafone Cash to Vodafone Cash still be free.
Vodafone.
What's so tasty, creamy, crunchy, makes you happy when it's near. Munchie, munchie, oh munchie, shortcake biscuit.
Enjoy the unbeatable taste of Munchie Milk Shortcake biscuits, serving you original milky richness for 20 years. Munchie, a rich ankasa. This advert is FDA approved.
I like this song, by Kwame Eugene, Obiato.
Yeah.
I like
Well, it's 8:21, and it's the Super Morning Show on Joy. Mama,
but why is Mama
so
V
excited?
laughing?
I don't like the title.
No, but you see, the title says, Nyamia Dumti.
Masa.
But that's not what you said. But that's why I said Obiato.
See, but that's why I don't like the title.
Why? Mama V, why don't you like the title?
I prefer Nyamia Dum.
But there's so many songs called Nyamia Dum. So he's trying to say it's Obiato. Everybody sings.
Okay.
Why do you have a problem?
We still don't like it.
Yes.
Why is Mama V so concerned about the title of the song?
Why? You the song? Okay. Yeah.
In fact, that's the reason I've never played that song.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So you don't think there should be a song for Obiato?
I mean, it's a song. It's a song I like.
That everyone must sing along to.
My very good friend Stephen N.T. also loves this one so much. I mean, I've loved this song.
Just go straight to the point. Don't bring the name of God into this.
But what is all this? You Raymond, your favorite artist is who? Your favorite artist is Lumba.
Yes.
Am I lying?
Yes.
So should I start giving evidence?
Of what?
Lumba songs.
Of Obia something.
Where God is invoked.
Can we continue this one that they want to? We don't like it. Okay, so
what is that?
We are convinced we don't like the song.
No.
Nobody's going to change our mind on the matter. The main reason why we don't like the song is because of the Obia whatever. No?
Yeah, but
yes.
Anyway, today's conversation. Today we bring you a documentary which really tells a wonderful tale. It brings to life an era in history when a man, stepped forward to lead the nation through a coup d'etat. But when you listen and you understand the circumstances that led to it, you find it no less fascinating. And General Ignatius Kutu Acheampong is the one on the spotlight today in our documentary. Stay tuned, it's coming up in a moment. First, at ABSA, they believe that you and your car deserve to be rewarded, so get more for your protection with a motor insurance policy from ABSA underwritten by Hollard Insurance. Their comprehensive third-party or third-party fire and theft motor insurance policies not only ensure that your vehicle stays protected, but that you also get rewarded with fuel vouchers between now and the 31st of March 2024. That's not all. You also get free roadside assistance. You enjoy the option of car hire, post-vehicle repair inspection, and more when you sign up for their comprehensive cover. The qualifying minimum premium to be rewarded is 482 Ghana cedis. Discover how to get things done at absa.com.gh or at the nearest ABSA branch. Terms and conditions apply.
And I've got the coolest filler right now. Did you know that your energy-giving, great-tasting Lucozade has a new look? Well, whether you're out and about in the office and school, maybe you're sitting in the car right now, you're in a trotro and you need to restore your energy. Look out for the now sleeker, slimmer Lucozade, original 330 ml can with the same energy that you've known for years. Now you can go about your day with even more swag as you drink Lucozade from your new sleek can. So go ahead, grab your Lucozade sleek can and discover the same unbeatable energy with every sip. Lucozade, restore your energy, and this advert is FDA approved.
Now, the second edition of the highly anticipated Africa Prosperity Dialogues is now some 3 days away. Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2024 is the event at which Africa's political and business leaders meet to take actionable and bankable decisions towards building an African single market. Africa Prosperity Dialogues will take place from the 25th to the 27th of January 2024 at the Peduasi Presidential Lodge, Abri Hills in the Eastern Region. In the presence of several African heads of states and top business leaders, 10 exceptional African and global Africans will be receiving the prestigious Africa Prosperity Champions Awards for their contributions to Africa and global Africa's prosperity. This will happen at the Presidential Gala Dinner on the 26th of January at the Kempinski Hotel in Accra. All that you need to do is register at events.africaprosperitynetwork.com or reach the Secretariat at protocol@africaprosperity.network And by telephone, if you want to speak English with the attendants, it will be +233 53616 7567. Or if you prefer French, it will be +233 53609 8325. If you want more information, Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2024, delivering prosperity in Africa, produce, add value, and trade.
And Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture at affordable prices, has introduced an online store for your shopping convenience, which means you can now shop by simply logging on to kingdomstoreonline.com without physically coming to any of their branches. It is hassle-free, and they will arrange delivery to your home and office within a reasonable time, and they offer free delivery within Accra and Tema and accept payment via Momo across all networks. Terms and conditions apply at Kingdom. Quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
All right, well, I think it's time for us to delve into this documentary. It's a rather special one put together. And I want you to listen to it. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, but it's also going to be live it's going to be live on Facebook. And so you could just get onto our Facebook page and get to watch the video version, the audio-visual version of it.
Acheampong began his military journey at the recruitment barracks in Kumasi in 1953. Ignatius Kutu Acheampong successfully completed the basic military training at the barracks in Kumasi. He was posted to the barracks in Tamale and later to Accra, where, with his educational background, he was placed to teach at the Burma Camp Primary School. A man who valued education continuously pursued his dream. So at night and weekend, he was always studying for the senior high school certification, the General Certificate of Education Advanced Level. He passed at the end. Meanwhile, he rose through the ranks from Lance Corporal in 1955 to Corporal in August following year. He was promoted to Second Lieutenant in May 1957. On 13 January 1972, barely a month after the unprecedented devaluation of the city in a tactical move, Acheampong took over the reins of power through bloodless coup.
A day before the coup, he was then the commander of the Southern Brigade, and he was able to change the guards and the broadcasting and the Prime Minister's office and the President's office and all, which was detected by the intelligence at the time. And they felt that something was wrong. They called him. And he said, look, no, nothing is wrong. I'm just trying to beef up security. Because at that time, the Prime Minister had left for London for medical treatment. He said, there's nothing. I'm just trying to make sure there's tighter security, blah, blah, not knowing that the next day we were really going to overthrow them.
Now, what a lot of people didn't know was that the original date for the coup was the 15th of January. But it leaked. The intelligence system got to know about it. Now, if you got to know about the people planning the coup, won't you find out who were planning the coup? And in the investigations, they realized that the man who would be in the position to foil the coup was the man who was planning the coup. Therefore, there was nothing, and they didn't know how widespread it was. And so, they had to, like the girl says, when you see, if you are in the sea, you are swimming, and the wave, a big wave is coming, what you do is, you go under. So that you are not swept away. That is why we had a bloodless coup d'etat in 1972.
In the early hours of 13 January 1972, the nation woke up to a new dawn, a new voice, and a new leader, as Lieutenant Ignatius Kutu Acheampong announced on Radio Ghana that he was the new head of state of the Republic. Good morning, fellow Ghanaians. This is Lieutenant I.K. Acheampong. I bring you good tidings. Buzia's hypocrisy has been detected. We in the armed forces have today taken over government from Buzia and his ruling Progress Party. With immediate effect, the constitution is redrawn. Parliament is dissolved. The Progress Party and all political parties are banned. Dr. Kofi Abrife Buzia is removed from office. The leader of the opposition is dismissed. All members of government and parliament should report at the nearest police station for their own safety. Senior military officers responsible for internal security operations in the regions will take over government property at the residences. Please stay by your radios for further announcement. God be with you. Incidentally, Acheampong had announced his rank as Lieutenant Colonel, not knowing that just a day before his coup, the Chief of Defense Staff had authorized his promotion to Colonel. It was at the studio that a colleague prompted him of his new rank. Air Vice Marshal General Ashley Larson is the only surviving member of Acheampong's NRC cabinet of 1972, who later became his Chief of Defense Staff CDS. As seen on the screen, he was sitting at the right-hand side of General Ignatius when he gave reasons for his bloodless coup.
The government is a military government which will rule with advice from certain eminent civilians in the country. I would like to emphasize immediately that this coup was not initiated by the armed forces merely to satisfy our selfish ends. As I said in my earlier broadcasts, the takeover was occasioned principally by the hypocrisy of the Bouzia regime, coupled with the inefficient management by that regime of our economy. The malpractices which existed before the 1966 coup are still with us, and there was no prospect of seeing an end of them. Matters got steadily worse, especially in the economic field, and it became obvious that the Bouzia government had no clue as to how to arrest the position. In simple terms, we are almost like a nation at war without an external enemy. The National Redemption Council has therefore decided to place the economy of Ghana on a war footing. We are soldiers. We know one way of dealing with crisis situations, and that is action.
I was out of Ghana attending the National Defense Course in India. And so I cannot say for sure that all what he said concerning what Bouzia was doing actually did take place. But I know before I left for India that Bouzia's policy were beginning to affect some of our benefits in the military, which most officers didn't like. And Acheampong repeated this as one of the reasons why they also made the school.
He named the National Redemption Council, NRC, as a new government under his leadership. On the first day, he mentioned 5 names as members of his council. On the second day, he expanded it to 10. And on the 5th day, he added 2 more.
Well, the NRC government, when it was formed, had Acheampong as the head of government, and then he had his 3 accomplices, namely Lieutenant Colonel Major Ago, Major Ba of the 5th Battalion, Tony Solomon of the Reconnaissance Squadron Regiment, and those were the 3 officers who were part of the coup. And I came in as the Chief of Defense Staff.
As Acheampong sought to avoid counter-coups, some loyalists of the dethroned Progress Party government also planned to organize a resistance. They included Ministers Reginald R. Aponsa, KG Ose Bonsu, Chief S.D. Dombo, and the General Secretary of the Progress Party, B.D. Jarocha. The idea was to mobilize party faithfuls for demonstrations in Accra and Kumasi. But unfortunately, it failed because the main avenues for public communication at the time were already under the control of the military.
to stage a coup or to be part of the coup, by the time once you've heard it with your ears, you're already guilty. The day before the coup, I went stood before the adjutant and told him we were staging a coup the following day, and that I want the keys to the armory, and that I had briefed all the various groups in the unit what they were to do on that day. You know, and Agbo, Major Agbo, he was supposed to take over the airport. I was communicating with him, sending reinforcements to him, and various things. And the gentleman was to cut the telephone lines. I took him to T-Junction, Labadi T-Junction. I took the first gentleman there, and when I spoke to him, he was becoming redder and redder every time, and I was afraid he was going to collapse on my in the car. And I brought him back. He said, Joel, this one I can't do it, please. I said, my friend, it's not easy to say that you want to take part in the coup. I will advise you to get involved, because the day you say you want to get involved in the coup, that day you sign your death warrant.
The Acheampong bloody coup comes with a lot of unanswered questions. For instance, how was it possible that he was able to plan and execute a bloody coup at the blind side of the intelligence community?
So on the actual day, the officer who was asked to go and take over the Flagstaff house, the officer was nowhere to be found. So Acheampong, at that time there was a colonel. Colonel Acheampong and Major Bedu, they came to Reki, because I was virtually controlling the operation from my end. Then they said, Acheampong came and said, oh, Joel, Flagstaff has not been taken. The officer will come find you. Then I said, oh, don't worry, I'll send a company through the 37. In those days, it used to be, it was not a roundabout. So I'll send a company through there, and I'll go through the switchback route. So by the time the company arrived, I alone with my driver, with one ferret, we entered Flagstaff house. Then I jumped out of the ferret, and then I started shouting. I said, no matter who you are, I want you to come to where I'm standing. Put your arms on the right and lie down. And I'm counting 10. By the time I finish counting 10, if you are not here, you have yourself to blame. And you remember, God said, let there be light. And there was light. So let there be a booming from Captain Kwame Zulu. And there was a booming. And they obeyed. They all came, including General Kufu, who became the head of state.
Shortly after becoming head of state, Acheampong was met with an immediate challenge to bring back Dr. Kwame Nkrumah from self-exile. Some CPP lawyers told Acheampong had staged the coup to bring him back, but these thoughts had to be countered. So the NLC released an official statement to the Daily Graphic, which was published in early March 1972 to set the record straight with a screaming headline, "Coup not for Nkrumah." Barely 2 months after, Nkrumah passed away on 27 April 1972 in Bucharest, Romania. Even though it was a sad event, but Nkrumah's death came with a challenge and a test for Ghana's foreign relations, particularly with West African neighbors, because of the aliens compliance order by the Busia administration. Neighboring countries harbored strong ill feeling and resented Ghanaians for maltreating their citizens.
In the context of African unity, which was the mantra for Nkrumah's government, Busia's policy to expel the undocumented aliens in the country was more or less seen with serious reservations by most progressive Africans. And I think that Acheampong played a role in that, because as a young officer, he was sent to the border with his soldiers to keep order at the border crossing for these departing so-called aliens. And what he witnessed, what he saw there, became part of a burden on him that may have even influenced him to organize that group, because the experiences at the border was so scandalous, he couldn't just take it.
The Guinean president, Ahmed Secretary, who made Nkrumah honorary co-president in Guinea, was so angry that after Nkrumah's death, he didn't want to release the body to Ghanaians, because he felt Nkrumah was betrayed by his own people. In spite of his difficult stance, Acheampong, being a man of honor, had earlier sent Nkrumah's son, Francis Nkrumah, to Romania to bring back his alien father home for further treatment. Upon his return, he informed Acheampong that his father was not in good condition to travel. Therefore, his father's wish was for his body to be buried in his hometown. As a visionary leader, he introduced the principles of redemption, which outlines 6-point revolutionary agenda aimed at making Ghana a transformed modern nation. They included the following: 1. One nation, one people, one destiny. 2. Manpower development and deployment. 3. Revolutionary discipline. 4. Principle of self-reliance. 5. Service to the people. And finally, number 6, mobilization of the spiritual, intellectual, and work power of the people.
This revolutionary charter is not only a guide to those who lead our nation in government, in business, in thought and in culture, but also constitutes the basic tenets that must inspire every man, woman and child in Ghana.
Acheampong's patriotic spirit was truly unique. He once told the media not to tarnish the image of Ghana for personal glory.
We are not saying that those who contribute articles to foreign press are not patriotic. We are not saying that. At least you can earn some foreign exchange when you go on holidays, you go to a nice hotel and enjoy yourself. But what we are saying is that don't destroy your country. You are free to write whatever you want to. You can criticize the government, then we will sit up. But don't destroy. See, when you know what you are writing is wrong, it isn't true and it's meant to subvert, to create disaffection, to create confusion in the country, then you are doing more harm than good. Because if the country collapses, you are within it. It doesn't collapse for me or for the colleagues. All of us are inside.
He simply wanted Ghanaians to believe in the country. Therefore, he needed to condition the minds of the people towards patriotism.
Part of the Charter of Redemption was to revise the national anthem to be more patriotic. If you know, you realize that the immediate post-independence national anthem was written by Philip Beho. But it started with the line, "Lift high the flag of Ghana." Acheampong's version that still stands today is the one that starts with, "God bless our homeland, Ghana."
Another major concern of the NRC government was how they were going to manage Ghana's debt, which was $300 million then, a huge amount at the time. The NRC decided to find ways to stall, if not completely avoid such payment. Therefore, it segmented the approaches to debt obligations into two. First was to rearrange the payment of those found to be legitimate, and secondly, to identify debt that was illegitimate. Further, as part of his plans to strengthen the Ghanaian cedi, Acheampong nullified the Busia devaluation in a public broadcast. He ordered the Bank of Ghana to deal at the rate of 1 new cedi equals 78 US cents. In other words, the regime had revalued by 42%. Though this action strengthened the cedi superficially to give temporary respite to the pricing of some locally produced items. After outlining the principles of the NRC, his government decided to scrutinize a number of contracts that were signed by the Busia administration. In doing so, some contracts were classified illegal. However, Acheampong, in a public broadcast on February 5, announced the immediate repudiation of some $94.4 million of Ghana's debt, which amounted to a third of the total debt. The action was indeed radical. The first time the nation stood against foreign creditors in such a public way. For radicals or nationalists, this was a refreshing policy in economic relations. The debt repudiation announcement was carried with a screaming headline, by daily graphic in a pointed and blunt Akan language expression Yintuya, meaning we won't pay.
If you look at how he was able to stand up against the IMF and the other international monetary institutions, the fact that he was the only government, or his was the only government that never borrowed a penny from anywhere, from Nkrumah till today, he is the only leader who never borrowed. The fact that he put the weight of the state behind indigenous entrepreneurs, hoping that they will become the centers of development in their various industries for the nation. If you look at all these kind of initiatives, not to mention Operation Feed Yourself and the other things that he did, then you cannot help but admire this person in terms of his vision for the country.
As part of his policies on building Ghanaian businesses, Acheampong's NLC government fully supported Ghanaians who showed promise in entrepreneurship, particularly those with established businesses. The thought of Acheampong's aim of developing Ghanaian entrepreneurs was not just a dream, but it was a reality. He introduced policies including tax holidays, sovereign guarantees, and other incentives that led to the emergence of a number of budding local entrepreneurs. Among some of the local entrepreneurs to benefit from Acheampong's vision was Edward Osei, whose Boache mattress became a foremost manufacturer of deluxe mattresses in West Africa. Boache put up the first private modern hospital in Cantonment, which would later be seized years later and turned into a police hospital by the Jerry Rawlings PNDC military regime. Another major businessman to emerge was Benjamin Aponsan Mensah, popularly known as B.A. Mensah, who established the International Tobacco Ghana Limited that produced the Rothmans king-size cigarettes. Also impressive as an entrepreneur was Joshua Kwabena Siao, who in 1973 opened the largest plant in West Africa. Siao's brewery produced the Tata beer for the local market and exported Maltex, a soft drink, to nearly all other West African countries. In 1974, Acheampong went to Koforidua to inaugurate the first intravenous infusion company in the country. It was established by Samuel Christian Apente in partnership with a Swiss investor. In the late 1960s, Apente Salt Industries, Pambro Salt Industries Limited, and Vacuum Salt Product Company were producing not only to the local market, but was also exporting to the rest of West Africa. Car assembling also gained prominence in the economy as two entrepreneurs got the full backing of Acheampong's regime. Acheampong always had a soft spot for women. He believed in his heart that they possessed superior entrepreneurial spirit and therefore saw the need to empower them. And so in 1973, one of his aides, Samuel K. Danson, led a team to conduct a research which concluded that women were better at loan repayment and also had better multiplying effect with loans. This convinced Acheampong to grant women access to loans for businesses. Wives of military officers were not exempted from this wave of women empowerment. Women rose to prominent entrepreneurs during his regime. As a result, people started to spread gossips about womanizing at the corridors of power. Women who were driving BMW Golf produced by Kowus were ridiculed that they exchanged their buttocks for cars, which became so popular in the Ghanaian Akan language for Otobeju Golf. One popular policy of the Acheampong's government was Operation Feed Yourself. This initiative allowed Ghanaians to feed themselves without importing food.
Nobody has ever done anything like that before. Up to today, nobody has succeeded in doing what he did. Because Ghana exported food for the first time in thousands of tons. And we have never exported food since then.
He had the belief that we could use agriculture well because he had come from Fort Leavenworth Staff College in the US. And incidentally, this is a military academy of the highest and one of the highest institutions in the world. Some of the people who have been there include Lieutenant General Setobin, the former CDS. You have Major General, he's dead now, Okai, and of course General Icheampong. And there, I can tell you that the course content is about someone doing his masters, and he passed. That is how come he has PSC after his name, Past Staff College. Not many military officers have that. But that is just to give you the flavor of how he got the idea of Operation Freedom. So it says in Kansas, he realized that most part of the year, it's winter type of weather. Yet they were able to grow wheat. It was one of the important wheat growing states in the US. So he asked himself, we have the sun all year. We have rains that we could do something with, except that we have dry season. If we are able to develop some irrigation to support agriculture, we can do a lot. That is how he told me he got the idea of Operation Feed Yourself.
Another was Operation Feed Your Industry. Through these operations, Ghana succeeded in clearing $170 million out of $180 million debt that NLC inherited from the Buzia administration. On public housing, landlords at the time took advantage of the housing shortage to demand exorbitant rental prices. The NLC decided to find a solution that was considered strategic. General Icheampong decreed, through a press conference, the reduction of rent which began on 1st February 1973. Further, it was part of his housing strategy to build state houses across the country. This plan began with the establishment of the Bank for Housing and Construction (BHC) to provide financial backbone to the development of housing for Ghanaians. In Accra, the Dansman project, which began with the construction of 1,000 houses, was envisaged to be the largest public housing in West Africa. Also introduced were the housing estate in Teshiningwa, the development of Jolu, North Legon, and East Legon residential areas. He also knew water was an essential commodity. To improve water supply, the Ghana Water and Sewage Corporation launched a giant dam project in 1977, the Wager Waterworks. This reservoir was designed to provide Accra metropolitan area with enough water for the next 40 years, estimated to cost 20 million cedis, equivalent to $20 million at the time. This was a joint venture between the Icheampong's government and the World Bank. In Kumasi, 200 acres of land was acquired at Bokro, near the airport, for development into the first-class residential area, akin to Accra's airport residential area. As part of his long-term plan for industrialization, Akosombo Dam has started flagging its inadequacy to cater for the growing population. General Icheampong authorized the tendering in 1976 for the construction of the second hydro project on the southern end of the Volta Lake. In the area of education, Icheampong set up the Jobo Committee in 1972 to review the structure and content of education. Among the recommendations from the committee included delineating the boundaries of kindergarten, primary, junior secondary school, and lower senior, upper senior secondary schools. He also built the Efiokobi Ampim Girls Senior High School at Trabom in the Ashanti region.
People like Kofi Annan became all trained on the system. You understand? So the education policy continued very well. We tried at a certain stage to try to reduce it a bit in terms of the secondary schools and all.
Icheampong respected traditional authorities. He believed getting close to them will get him closer to the people. and so he always graced his presence at various traditional events. He was even honored in one of such events. Sport was another area of well-being. To improve sport generally, the existing stadiums were refurbished and a new Kanishi Sport Complex, which would later be known as Azuma Nelson Sport Complex, was built in Accra. Under the Acheampong's regime, Ghana became the first African country to win the African Cup for the third time and to keep it for good. Again in 1975, David Quater Poison, known to many as DK Poison, won Ghana's first World Boxing Championship by beating Ruben Olivares to become World Boxing Council's featherweight in California, USA. Acheampong authorized the SMC to buy him a brand new car and also to build a house for him at Teshinungwa Estate. He presented the National Honor of Grand Medal and an amount of 100,000 cedis equivalent of $87,000 at the time. On foreign policy, Acheampong always maintained neutral position. This enabled him to reach both the Eastern and Western Bloc countries, even though Buzia's policy of neglect had almost frozen Ghana's relations with the Eastern Bloc. But Acheampong managed to make amends with them. In no time, some leaders began to show solidarity by visiting Accra. As a Pan-Africanist, he continuously promoted his self-reliance program to the rest of the African countries, so they can also be dependent solely on themselves instead of foreign donors. By 1975, deteriorating socioeconomic conditions and popular disenchantment was ruffling the National Redemption Council, NRC. The regime's weakness and increasing ineptitude were badly exposing the Ghana forces as a whole to public riot. In the absence of political position, public pressure came primarily from civil society groups. Acheampong abruptly dissolved the NRC on 9 October 1975. In place of the NRC, General Ignatius constituted the Supreme Military Council, SMC, as the highest administrative and legislative body, retaining the position of head of state and getting promoted to the rank of a general.
Acheampong was under intense pressure, not only from the civilian sector, but from within the armed forces, because the NRC excluded the service commanders. It was just Acheampong and some colonels and majors. The service commanders who were generals and commanding the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force were not included. So they were threatening some kind of severe or dire consequences if changes were not made. So he changed it from NRC to SMC, bringing into the government all the service commanders. So that was a tactical move to kind of to stop a potential threat that was coming from the senior officers.
This move by General Acheampong would lead him to his ultimate death. July 5, 1978, his CDS and friend Frederick Akwofo and his colleagues sprung a surprise on General Acheampong, SMC chairman, who also doubled as Minister of Defense. At about 8:30 a.m., the door to his office opened. Without notice, Lieutenant General Frederick Akwofo and his CDS entered, followed by Army Commander Major General Odate Walton, then the Navy Commander, then the Air Force Commander, and the Border Guards Commander, all in uniform. At this time, he still had no idea what was going on. He therefore asked, "Is this an invasion?" Nobody laughed. They were looking at him. They didn't salute him, as protocol demanded. And there came the surprise. Walton pulled a small piece of paper and placed it in front of the general to sign. General Acheampong read through and saw that was his resignation. At this time, he knew it was no more a joke. It was a mutiny. Initially, he decided not to sign, but Walton insisted he would sign. Upon realizing he was trapped, he took a deep breath and signed. Without a single shot fired, Acheampong's bodyguards were disarmed and taken prisoners. Lieutenant General Fred Akufo becomes the new head of state of SMC2. He accused General Acheampong of many things, according to political historian Obeyaho Asamoah, as listed in the book Life and Times of Ignatius Kutu Acheampong. Some of the allegations included vesting executive power in himself, thus enabling him to ignore collective decisions, sharing favors on favorite military officers, appointing aides and others of doubtful competence, and many more. It is important to note that of all the many allegations against Acheampong, none of the charges pinpointed any particular corruption or misappropriation of funds, as it was popular allegations prior to his overthrow. June 4, 1979. Against the backdrop of an ongoing trial of Jerry Rawlings, his friends from the Free Africa movement led a successful coup to overthrow General Akufo and his SMC2 government. Rawlings was indeed rescued from custody to lead the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council, AFRC, which was formed to run the country.
Akufo inherited a bad situation. You see, he could have waited for Acheampong to sort it out or to be overthrown if that was going to be the case. He inherited a very bad situation. The country was in a turmoil. And when he inherited, he was not quick to find a solution by, of course, he came up with the idea of organizing elections for things to happen. And the young soldiers led by Rawlings said, no, we have to clear you guys before we even do the elections. So he came at the wrong time to a wrong place. So in the end, himself and the former friend he betrayed and all the colleagues in that regime, unfortunately, had to pay with their lives. This was the military. We are not talking about chicken boys here.
At midnight, I got a call. Do not ask who is speaking. Tomorrow, these were the words of the speaker. Though they were these words. Tomorrow, some people are going to face the firing squad. Get ready to prepare them. So I sat in the hall there until about 5:30 a.m. A whole lot of soldiers came, were surrounded the building, and then they were marching him. I was in the church, inside the church. They were marching him in there. So I got out and met the soldiers at the entrance, and then they should release him. He took his ring, and this was his last word. Father, take this ring. Pray for me that God may accept me as I am. This was his last word.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Hey, Opeyin! What is this I'm hearing about some economic census?
Yes, the Ghana Statistical Service is conducting a nationwide census of all businesses called the Integrated Business Establishment Survey, popularly known as IBIS.
A census of businesses? What is that for?
Well, for businesses to grow, they will need data on all business activities for decision making to enhance their profitability.
Hey, so does it mean my top bar is part of this exercise?
Of course it is. All businesses, whether for profit or non-profit, are included.
Okay, but won't my personal information be disclosed?
Not at all. Data collected will be kept confidential and used solely for statistical purposes, so your individual information is well protected.
Really? So when is it starting and how can I help?
This exercise will begin in January 2024. Help by giving the right information to the field staff who will be visiting your business.
Remember,
support GSS to to provide you with the right data for your business growth and national development. 2024 IBES, data for prudent business decisions.
Are you hoping to start university this January? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana right here in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and up to 50% scholarship to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless possibilities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our January 2024 intake. Apply now for our foundation program. For more information, contact us on +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
You no longer need to travel far to access your funds, send from abroad, or conduct local transfers. With a network of 147 rural and community banks, RCBs, and more than 800 locations across the country, ARB Apex Bank and the RCBs boast of the largest bank branch network in the country for all money transfer services.
Whether you are receiving funds from abroad or conducting local transfers, ARB Apex Bank and rural and community banks provide you with the convenience through various trusted money transfer services such as Western Union, Ria Money, Unity Link, Apex Link, and Ghana Pay. Visit us today to access a wide range of banking and money transfer services. ARB Apex Bank and rural community banks, together for progress.
Hey, close up. Ever fresh air, ever fresh air. Ever fresh air, ever close up.
All new Close Up Everfresh. Wait, Charlie, what's new?
It now has a triple fresh formula that cleans, protects, and cools. Thanks to a powerful combination of 1, a purifying gel, 2, an antibacterial mouthwash formula, 3, ice cool crystals that cleans, fights up to 99% bacteria, and intensely cools. Fresh breath keeps you protected and fresh long after brushing. Close Up Triple Fresh formula cleans, protect, and cools. Close Up Everfresh. Grab yours now.
This advert is FDA approved.
Attention aspiring minds and future leaders. Get ready for the University Challenge. 10 universities, 10 diverse topics, and a chance to win 1 million Ghana cedis. Each university presents a unique project, pushing the boundaries of creativity and knowledge. This televised competition celebrates intellect, teamwork, and the power to transform ideas into reality. The future of innovation and the chance to witness brilliant young minds showcasing their skills, teamwork, and ability to turn dreams into tangible solutions to solve real-world problems. Stay tuned for more details and get ready to be inspired. For more details, visit newafricafoundation.org or call 0532 383 737.
Hello, Linda. You won't believe what I am planning next. I want to start my postgraduate degree, buy a car, and build my dream home. But you know what's stopping me?
What's that, Mike?
Money, oh. That be my biggest wahala.
Oh, you are sorted, Kra. With a GCB Big Move personal loan promo, you can borrow up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours.
Like, seriously? How do I qualify?
Yes, it's available to all GCB salary account holders. Plus, you get a 2-month grace period before you start to pay back.
Susket, I'm opening an account with GCB now.
Get a personal loan of up to 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours. Call 0800-422-422 or visit your nearest GCB branch today to fund your next big move as we celebrate 70 years of greatness. T's and C's apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Who came to power through a coup d'etat, made quite a mark in his time in office until a palace coup removed him. after which he was shot at the age of 46. Yeah, quite a short life, but one that certainly bears recounting, right?
It does. It does, and that's why we're talking about him, today. The fact that for many persons, they've only heard about the bad things about him. But of course, I mean, by the time that he died at 47. I mean, he only had almost turned 48 when he was shot. At that time, for many of the persons who had even seen him, and for all of us who didn't see him, we had heard all the bad things that he may have done or did not do. Yeah. But what this documentary has done is to tell you the right stories about General Kutu Acheampong.
Indeed.
All the things that he did, what he believed in. I'm sure one thing that was never taken away from him was his love for agriculture and food sufficiency and security. And so Operation Feed Yourself is attributed to him. And the fact that today in Ghana would have to import practically everything. Today in Ghana, even our own staple gari is gotten from other parts of the world, sadly.
All right. Well, we would certainly like to hear your thoughts on General Ignatius Acheampong. Send them through to us. If you're on X, use the hashtag JoySMS, or send them through to us on WhatsApp 055 1111 997. Text messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality.
Now, GCB, your biggest and largest bank in Ghana, is offering GCB salaried account holders personal loans in less than 24 hours. This is to fund your next big move. With GCB's Big Move Personal Loan promo, you can access up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate with a 2-month repayment grace period to meet your urgent financial obligations with a plan and a nice smile in a way. It is time to make that big move, be it for educational fee payment, buying a car, or building your dream home. GCB makes these dreams a reality and life easier for its customers. So let GCB lend you the needed support to make that big move. Take care of those urgent personal needs. Visit any GCB branch or call 0800 422 422 for further inquiries. Terms and conditions apply. GCB is your bank for life.
And let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Park, which has introduced the Safari Wildlife Experience by creating an environment that fosters the harmonious cohabitation of forest, water, humans, and wildlife such as zebra, sable antelope, llama, wallaby, fallow deer, Patagonian mara, and many others, where everyone can come and experience these majestic creatures at a starting price of only 250 Ghana cedis, and it's free for children up to 6 years. It's only an hour's drive from Accra. It opens from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. Visit Safari Valley Eco Park with your friends and family today for the thrill of a lifetime. For more information, visit safarivalleyresort.com. Check out Safari Valley on Instagram or call 0596 914394.
All right. Well, in a moment, we're going to have a conversation with somebody who knew General Acheampong, his youngest advisor at the time. Joris Wattenberg will be joining us in just a moment. In fact, he's on right now. Now, he's a former advisor on economy, food distribution, and student affairs to General Acheampong. Mr. Wattenberg, what a pleasure. Good morning to you.
It's a very good morning to you as well.
And do we have Mr. Wattenberg?
This is Mr. Wattenberg on the line.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time with us.
It's a pleasure.
You can certainly give us a peek behind the curtain. If you were to explain in your own words, what would you say, who would you say General Acheampong is? And tell us a little bit about the role you played as his advisor.
Well, we're talking almost 50 years ago.
Yes.
In fact, in many cases, more than 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Indeed, if I had thought that I would live for another 50 years at the time, I probably might have done something different. Wonderful man. Unfortunately, destiny had it so that he ended up being executed with the rest of his generals. But as a human being, he was wonderful. As a ruler, head of state, he had great vision, but he was too kind. To rule a nation needs some very, very hard decisions. So many times in the course of mankind, kings have killed their sons, and the sons have killed their fathers. The game of power is such that everything balances. It doesn't matter who you kill or who you do not, because it's a struggle for power. Even in the Bible, King Solomon was advised to make sure he got rid of his his uncles and stuff who would threaten his throne, or his brothers, which he did, and to the approval of the God of Israel himself. So power is a very, very complex thing, and he just wasn't suited to it from that point of view. If he had been a little more ruthless, it would have been terrible, because that would not have been his nature. You know, like me saying, "Hey, go kill this man, kill that man," whatever it is, and all that. Or, you know, if it's not your nature, it's not your nature. And therefore, if you get into a position of rulership, then you shouldn't stay for too long, because the longer you stay, the more other people want to remove you and take your position.
Yeah.
So that was the kind of man he was. He had great vision, but he was too generous, too kind to be a ruler, really.
Yeah.
You know, I myself, I was 21 years old. What can I say? When you're 21 years old, when you're 21 years old in law school, as I was at the time, Kwamna Hoy was my classmate, Bicham, Bram Labi, these were my classmates. Were being taught by Atamels, who subsequently became president, Chachu Chikata, wonderful lecturer. You know, these were great times when we were learning the law and all that. And at the same time, I was at the castle overseeing the affairs of the students, with whom I was in common always. It was curious.
How did you end up being picked as an advisor to the head of state?
It was very simple. At the time, I was writing the very popular program Osofadazi, which I did for about 3 years. Trust me, to write a new story every week for 3 years.
Wow.
Today, I think to myself, I say, how did I do that? But it required me to go around and look for stories, even in villages and stuff like that, to find out what was happening in society. Because my kind of writing is satirical.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but my books are studied in all the English-speaking African countries, you know, third year level. So I'm a playwright published by Oxford University Press, but people only remember me for the Osofadazi TV program I wrote.
Yeah.
Now, this program had tremendous influence over everybody in the country. Everybody stopped whatever they were doing when my program came on.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of influence. And it made sense for the head of state to pop in, which he did one day, to our house, my father's house. And said, who is George Wattenberg? And I said, it's me. He said, come, you can't work with me. So, and that's how it started.
Wow.
I think it was the right move to make because I knew a lot of things about the society, about the entire country, because I was going around looking for stories and all that. So I knew what was going on because I used to write about them and criticize them, whether it was civil servants or it was the villagers or it was whatever it was, all that. So I knew my onions, so to speak, and it was the right thing for him to do, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
And it was very beneficial because we in a sense together, we advised the right way. Joe Apia was there as well with me on the committee for food distribution.
Yeah.
And you know, he did things that normally, if you remember, I prefer them were in power and General Anka and all that after the coup against Nkrumah.
Yeah.
And they just hung about, did nothing, and handed over to the civilian government. It was just an interregnum, you know. But Acheampong, you know, created a program of Operation Feed Yourself, industry. I mean, his industrial policy was brilliant. I mean, as it was bold, because he would give cash money, from the government, from the contingency fund, to people like B.A. Mensah, Poku Transport, Boachi Matres.
Yeah.
I mean, and they went and built industries. You know, they went and built industries which were very profitable, and you know, and we're building everything over here. Willowbrook buses, New Plan buses, TV was Akasanuma TV, Sanyo TV, Mazda cars were assembled here, Datsun cars, Poku Kous was doing golf. This was a fantastic time.
I wonder, why do you think someone as, you know, visionary as you describe him to be, ended up having such strange myths circulating about him? You know, this whole golf exchange program, to put it politely, as well as, you know, things like him making comments about Kumasi Legon and Cape Coast Legon. How did these myths about him not being a particularly intelligent person and him, you know, having these rather strange ideas and practices, where did these myths come from?
Ghana and Ghanaians will say cruel things about you, whatever you do. Yeah, I'm sure every president who has been up until today, and I know President Kufu quite well, and I know that many times he sits back and shakes his head about the sort of things that are said about him. I mean, I myself, at the time, was standing in a club called Gondola back in the day. That was one of the top, you know, discos and all that. Listening to a gentleman who said he was my cousin and described amazing things that we did that I knew nothing about. I didn't know the gentleman. I didn't know nothing. He said, "Hey, me and George, you know, we were the greatest of, you know, we did this, we did that, we were here with that girl." And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, was I dreaming or remember this, Acheampong said at one time, and soon Tokwa, you see Acheampong. You know, even when it's not raining, they say it's Acheampong.
Yeah.
It's causing the rain to stop. You see. The Prime Minister before him, which was Professor Buzia, I mean, he's the one that I felt most sorry for, because every time he passed by, everyone started shouting, "Hey, Kofi Besi, oh, Kofi Besi."
Oh, goodness. Why?
Oh, yes. I mean, instead of Buzia, they made the name to Besia, but it was a woman.
Right.
Kofi Besi, Kofi Besi, no woman.
Why? Just because of his name, or was that something that led people to that?
It was just that they felt that his wife, Amoko, was ruling over him, and that he himself didn't know nothing about nothing.
Right, right. So you think it's just the occupational hazard of being head of state?
Oh, totally. Anywhere in the world, they will insult you. And they will ascribe things to you that you can never imagine. I mean, for example, this thing about Fautobeji Golf. I mean, it was a very simple matter. Kous was assembling golf carts in Ghana.
Right.
Golf carts are like today's, I don't know what, RAV4 or something. You know, women love that kind of car. And it's mostly young ladies. So you saw young ladies, you know, and those days also young ladies were the ones who were doing the trading. A lot of trading, because GNTC, the Ghana National Trading Corporation under Slater, was the only institution importing everything to Ghana: rice, sugar, wheat, tinapa, milk. You know, these were called essential commodities. I mean, if there was a shortage of essential commodities, then someone was going to do a coup or something.
Yeah.
Those were the you know, mechanics and intricacies of those days, that people took certain things seriously and didn't, you know, hang about them. So there were occasional shortages of these things, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. And the girls who used to run around, you know, to all these ministries and JTC and everything and all that, you know, put in applications to get a quota. You know, and the government always give a quota to traders and all that. But the more and more, the young girls became more and more the great traders of the day.
Yeah.
And naturally, you know, whenever they made a profit, they went and bought a golf car, because that was golf and Passat. Passat was also very, very, very well loved.
Yeah.
My own cousin, Joel Sou, was he bought a Passat, and which got damaged a couple of weeks later. He almost wept. And this was one of the greatest soldiers we've ever had, my cousin Joel. He's still very much alive.
Yes.
So everybody sees all these young girls driving these golf cars. Acheampong is doing this thing.
I see. That's where it came from. Fascinating.
Yes.
Well, you know? If you just joined us, we're talking to Joris Wartenberg, a man who, at a very young age, was, tapped to be an advisor to Head of State General Acheampong. Before we wrap things up, Mr. Wartenberg, what would you say, from your vantage point, are the lessons that we can draw from the Acheampong period? You know, particularly in terms of economic policies and so forth. What would be the big lessons we can draw?
I was in charge of the economy, and I remember a time came when a bishop called Idahusa came to visit Ghana, and he was interviewed on television, and he said how blessed Nigeria was because they had oil and this and oil and oil and oil, and Ghana didn't have any. So I called him to my office and I said to him that, you know, that your oil is not blessed, that, you know, it's cursed. It's your curse. And he said, why? I said, well, because the Igbos have a saying, the goat which is owned by the community ends up starving to death. He never understood it. Let me explain. Oil is the one thing that is Ghana's weakest point. Why? Because I'll give you the figures. Back in 1972, we were buying oil at $3 per barrel. We needed 30,000 barrels to bring that oil to Tor for it to be refined into petroleum products. So we're spending $90,000 a day and about $36 million a year. At that time, Ghana was making from cocoa sales, gold sales. By the way, gold, we didn't have any interest in any gold mine until Acheampong took over. And we negotiated to take 51%. 51%, we owned all the gold mines and all the mines in Ghana. Okay? That's how my old friend Sam Jonah got to become boss of Ashanti Goldfields. Because we took over control. Anyway, the important thing was this, that over and over, we had no problem. We had also introduced the Operation Feed Yourself, and we were making money like crazy. People don't realize that agriculture makes more money than oil, gold, and everything put together. More money locally, more money in exports. I mean, Brazil, Argentina rely on agricultural products for the export, mostly, for years. And Ghana has relied on cocoa for 100 years and more. So the entire economy has been built upon that product and agricultural products. Okay? Oil was a weak point, but if the price was all right, then there was no problem.
So you would say that the lesson from the Acheampong era is that we must focus on agriculture?
That's first. And then second, remember what I was saying about oil. In 1973, the OPEC was formed after the war between Israel and the Arabs. And the price of oil from there on jumped from $3 to $30, making it necessary for us to spend $360 million a year to buy oil alone when we only made $300 million a year. And the government also had to import milk, sugar, tinapa, sardines, everything else the government had to import. This is where the downfall of the Acheampong government came. It was not corruption. Nobody had anything. We didn't have any cars, any private houses, like people like Rollins, who came and killed him, built houses in Yajiri and Kano and other places. We had nothing. Instead, we built Dansuman, the second largest township in Africa, with government money. And nobody has ever done anything like that before. If I hadn't done the pond water works, there would be no water in Accra and Tema today. We did a lot of things as the Northerners. All the dams we made over there, the irrigation dams, they're all still working 40, 50 years after. So the lesson to be learned is this. Kutu Acheampong realized this and did everything to try and find oil in Ghana. But I always said, the day you find oil is the day you go bankrupt. Today we are bankrupt.
Wow. That's quite a thought. I want to say a big thank you. I wish we could talk a lot longer. I'm really enjoying this conversation. Mr. Joris Wartenberg, let's promise to continue this at another time. Thank you so much for your time with us this morning. Joris Wartenberg.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Joris Wartenberg is a former advisor on the economy, food distribution, and student affairs to General Ignatius Kutu Acheampong. All right, more on the show after these.
What's so tasty, creamy, crunchy, makes you happy when it's near? Munchy, munchy, oh munchy, oh munchy, shortcake biscuits.
Enjoy the unbeatable taste of Munchie Milk Shortcake Biscuits, serving you original milky richness for 20 years. Munchie, a rich ankasa. This advert is FDA approved.
It be biggie.
quality. It be unbeatable. Up to 40% discount. Only at Electromat. Ane, Omadia. The Konya with free installation. Any Orient Deluxe ceiling fan. What air conditioner be a wobato every Electromat hobia. Get the chow free. Buy your favorite brand. LG, Broom, Samsung, Panasonic, TCL, Orient, Philips, Techno, Infinix. Cash in big for Afcon in brain. Only at Electromat. For any Electromat showroom. Benwubia. And our friend 0800-100-247 and our 0552-275-5456. Electromat, your world of electronics. Kaimuse, terms and conditions apply.
There is something that drives you. The very thought of it fuels you. And even when the road gets rocky, you keep going, just to get the results that matter. It could be about you. It could be the lives you touch. It could be about someone special or something dear to your heart. Such results leave a sweet lingering smile, a sense of fulfillment. That's why you work till late, yet rise with the sun. Yes, your drive knows no limit. Do it with Stanbic Bank, where we spur you on to get the results that matter.
GoTV is stepping up your entertainment from the 15th of January at no extra cost to you. If you are on GoTV Value, upgrade to GoTV Plus to watch GoTV Max. Already on GoTV Plus? Upgrade to GoTV Max to enjoy GoTV Super. And if you are on GoTV Max, upgrade to GoTV Super to enjoy the best of the best on GoTV Super Plus. Don't wait. Step up your entertainment today. It's on us. GoTV. Love it. T's and C's apply.
Let me share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resorts. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castanet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, while you pet and feed them. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
National Health Insurance.
Great news! The National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS) has waived the waiting period for all members aged 70 years and above. All 70 years and above are also exempted from paying a premium. Enrollments and renewal are absolutely free on the NHIS. Members who are 70 years and above can automatically access healthcare when they newly register with the NHIS or renew their membership annually. You are no longer required to serve the 1-month waiting period for late renewals. Dad, mom, grandpa, and grandma, let your old age be filled with good health and access instant healthcare at zero cost on the NHIS today. Download the My NHIS mobile app to register with your Ghana card or visit the nearest NHIS office. Terms and conditions apply. For details, contact the NHIS call center on 054-444-6447 or 0302-746-447. NHIS, your access to quality healthcare. This message is brought to you by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show.
Listen, what if I told you that 10 Ghana cedis can get you free concert tickets and shopping vouchers worth up to 500 Ghana cedis to shop at Melcom or to get some buckets of juicy chicken at KFC every week this December? Well, here's what you need to do. Stake 10 Ghana cedis or more in the Game Park Games Pick 1 or Pick 4 lottery to be entered into a weekly Saturday raffle for a chance to win. Regardless of the outcome of your stake, you can still win a voucher for yourself. Vouchers are limited, so play more to increase your chances. And remember to watch the Saturday promo draw on Adum TV at 6 p.m. Dial *946# or just go to GameParkGames.com to play now. Terms and conditions apply. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power.
Now, GCB Bank PLC wishes to remind all of its customers not to pay attention to any message or phone call claiming to come from GCB Bank PLC asking you to link your Ghana card to your bank account or provide your card or account details. GCB will never send you a message or make a call to you requesting your account or card details. When in doubt, call 0800 422 422 or chat with us on WhatsApp via 020-24-224-22 or visit the nearest GCB branch. GCB is your bank for life.
So, we all have those days when you're low on everything, energy, time, cash, and even airtime and data. Well, that's why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advanced service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet even when you have an insufficient balance. All you have to do is dial *506#. Just dial *506#, go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data that you need. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted even when you're low on airtime or data. Please remember that all terms and conditions apply.
All right, now it's finally here. Your smartphone just got smarter. You can now listen to any multimedia radio station just by asking your phone to do so. For Android users, here's what you do. Just say, "Okay Google, ask Multimedia Ghana to play Joy FM." For iPhone users, go to the Google app and tap on the microphone icon, and that's it. Don't miss anything happening on your favorite multimedia radio station anymore. Grab your phone and say, "Okay Google, ask Multimedia Ghana to play Joy FM."
Kujo, who wins today?
Charlie 2-1 Ghana.
Raymond?
Yeah, I know Ghana will win, but I'm not sure who's scoring how. But Ghana will certainly win.
If you remember,
we don't have an option. We must win.
If you remember how pessimistic I was before the Egypt game, I am just as optimistic this time around. I have great faith that we will beat Mozambique. They are a formidable team, I've got to say. They are not just a walk in the park. You shouldn't consider any team to be a walk in the park. And I expect Ghana to go into this game with every intention of, scattering them. And then if we're lucky, and Cape Verde does their thing to Egypt,
as is expected.
Now,
we'll see.
Ghana must win.
Yes.
We must win because I've still not worn my jersey. I want to wear it.
Yes, we want to bring it to work tomorrow.
Yes, I want to wear it. So, the Black Stars must do us the honors and show that they beat Mozambique.
Getting motivation
Afcon
to the people
for different reasons, not necessarily footballing reasons. So yes, I think that with somebody like Jordan Ayew, when we are leading by 3-0, then you bring him in, draw some fouls.
Okay.
We should deploy Jordan like the Denelson of old. Those who appreciate football would understand. There's this Brazilian player known as Denelson. Now, in those days when Brazil was leading by 2-0 or 3-1, and they wanted to waste time, they bring Denelson, who at the time was the world's most expensive. Now, listen to this. He was the world's most expensive player.
I see.
But couldn't make it into the Brazilian squad or the best 11. So Denelson gets onto the ball. He has all the skills in the world. Waste all the time. Before you get the ball from Denelson, you probably would have to foul him. So that's how you play Denelson. When you are leading, you want to waste time. I think that's what we must do to Jordan tonight. Because yes, he holds on to the ball. This is not Crystal Palace, a team that thrives on set pieces. They'll float the balls into the penalty box, hoping for someone to connect his head, and that's it. That's not what we need at the Black Stars.
Yeah, but this all works provided we're in the lead.
Yes, we are in the lead. He should come and.
So that means somebody should put us in the lead.
Indeed.
Yes,
before he comes on. Okay, that's interesting. I am. Oh yes. Our talisman is pretty clear. The man of the moment. Oh, for now, Kudus. When the name is mentioned, the entire country is happy. I'm sure Kudus. The name is even more important than certain names, but yeah. I mean, when he gets the ball, you feel good.
Yes.
I mean, they are
hopeful.
Yes.
Optimistic.
Yeah.
He's not going to do something stupid.
If you watch the highlights of the last game. The commentator immediately Kudus got the ball. He started giving some history.
Oh, yes.
This is what he does. Then he moved the first step, then the second step. Then he gave some left hook, and it was straight in there.
You know what?
That's the kind of players. Why? Why? That's the kind of players we want in the team.
See, let's go for a short break. When we return, we'll introduce Abibatu, Fentiu, Tahiru Fentiu. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Wait. Before we go, quick one. Happy birthday to Nana Amayamwa, who's currently in Aurora, Colorado. She's 40 years old today. And your children and your husband, Dixon, love you very much.
That's the part that I like. Kudus.
You know, when the song came first, you know, I used to say that why is there any stress on Kudu's name? Because at that time, I don't think he was.
You hadn't yet woken up.
Yes. But now I know that everything depends on him.
It's all about the.
I saw a video. See the mother also dancing. Oh no! We should send more money to the mother. She has saved our lives this year. In fact, government needs Kudus more than some ministers, but that's fine.
We need Kudus.
Actually, it's harder to think of a minister we need more than.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Well,
he's our savior.
We have been joined by Fentu, Habiba Tahir Fentu,
AKA Salamatu.
Hi, hello. How are you?
We're fine.
The way he says that, how are you?
Correct.
We're told that you are going to be. You've gone into a bet with Mbura again.
I have not gone into any bet.
Once bitten, twice shy.
This time you'll be known as Sekina.
I don't bet.
We've chosen the song already.
Not bet us in money. No, you say that if Ghana doesn't win,
I don't know.
We should call you Sekina.
I have learnt my lesson.
He has learnt his lesson.
My lesson.
Is it Sekina too?
Because I've realized that you guys are not fair to me. So even when I specifically and explicitly state something, you only go and cut a portion that suits your agenda.
My dear brother.
So I'm not going to do
Salam alaikum.
That is the problem. Can we talk about tonight's game? Can we? What are you doing?
We'll play that one tomorrow for you.
Yeah, but I didn't say anybody should call me Sakina. You told me that. I didn't tell you that.
This one is not on record. But
thank you.
Tell us. I know you've been speaking to, Muftau and all the team in Abidjan. How's the Black Stars fared? And tonight, how are we likely to play?
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be an easy game. I think from the team news perspective, Majid Ashimeru has been, according to the coach, he's been training well, and they're assessing him, and he says the signs are very good, which means that there's a big likelihood that Majid Ashimeru will be fit enough to play this game, and there's a lot of focus on him because he was the difference in that first half performance, especially in the way he led Ghana's press with aggression and with intent and with a lot of motivation. And I think that's what we've been looking for from the team. And from the middle of the park, he showed great determination up until he got injured. And it's no coincidence that the moment he got injured in the 62nd minute, Ghana completely lost the midfield, and we invited way too much pressure on ourselves because we sat way too deep, and obviously that led to the errors in one way or the other, because then we were forced to pass the ball backwards more times than we would have liked. So ultimately that was a contributing factor. So it will be very important to have him back in that team. I think we can all agree that if Ghana plays against Mozambique the same way they played against Egypt, we stand a chance of getting the maximum points. The problem with this Black Stars team has been consistency, getting the same performance from them match after match, and that usually is what sets the big teams, the elite teams, from the very average teams, performing at a consistent level. In 11 games, the game against Egypt was the best one that we've seen yet, and yet in the past we've seen games where we've said, this is the best second half we've seen from Chris Hughton, or this is the best game we've seen from Chris Hughton. Hopefully the next game they can build on that. Then the next game is the complete opposite, and then they don't do too well. So I hope that's not the case this time around, because the only way the Black Stars will qualify, as you're aware, is to win. And not just win, apparently, but to win handsomely, because ever since the CAF Africa Cup of Nations extended to 24 teams, there's never been a time where a team has finished with 4 points and has not made it into the round of 16. In fact, the competition extended to 24 teams in 2019 in Egypt, and from then on, 4 third-place teams have always made it through to the round of 16, and each time a team has amassed 4 points and finished third, they have qualified to the round of 16. So if Ghana were to win against Mozambique and get 4 points, that will more likely than not guarantee qualification to the round of 16. The problem, however, is that it looks like this time around, the number of teams that could be finishing on 4 points in third place would be much higher than anything we've seen in the past. Because even in the past, like the last Afcon, for example, Ghana could have qualified to round of 16 with 2 points. If we had just gotten a draw against Comoros, that would have been enough to qualify Ghana to the round of 16. It doesn't look like this time around even 3 points would be enough, because in the past 5 teams with 3 points have also qualified to the knockout round despite finishing third. Okay, if we beat Mozambique, we'll finish with 4 points, and it's not a given that Ghana will finish third with 4 points. In fact, there is a possibility Ghana can get 4 points and finish second in the group.
Yeah.
Because it's not guaranteed that Egypt would automatically beat Cape Verde. And if Egypt don't beat Cape Verde, let's say if they get a draw, Cape Verde would top the group, Ghana would get 4 points, Egypt will finish on 3 points, which means we will no longer have to do any mathematics at all. It would be straightforward qualification in second place for Ghana if Egypt don't give Cape Verde. So for me, I think one thing is guaranteed. I definitely do think that 4 points would be enough for Ghana to qualify, whether by finishing second or by finishing third. I think we will qualify just by winning. And to win, I think if we can just get the same level of performance that we showed against Egypt, against this Mozambican team, will be more than good enough to qualify. Mozambique held Egypt to a 2-2 draw, but I was one of those people that thought that they were going to lose in the game against Cape Verde, because I thought there were too many exertions. Like they probably spent way too much of their energy, invested too much of their energy into that Egypt performance. And for a team of that nature, with players who have not played competitive football since November, which was when the Mozambican league ended, I didn't think they had it in them to follow it up with another equally good performance. And certainly that was what happened. They were completely destroyed by Cape Verde.
So we'll also beat them tonight.
I think we will win.
Fingers crossed. We'll be here tomorrow. I want to wear my jersey.
Yes,
so why
yes,
not?
yes.
Thank you, Abiba Tahiru. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for passing through. Shaking your head, eh? Anyway, folks.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. We've had a fantastic time with you. We're back tomorrow with more. Until then, please stay tuned to Joy. On behalf of the team, thank you for spending your morning with us. My name is Kojo Yankson and the Morning Man.
My name is Winston Amoa.
Raymond Aqua.
Have a good